right.
I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, it's just. I heard some numbers though.
Numbers
like
on
that.
the boards.
Yeah. I'm still trying to learn how to count to 10 in Tagalog after like almost 20 years.
Say word.
I still don't fucking know.
How much Filipino did you pick up in Scarborough?
I can understand it a hell of a lot better than I can speak it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, understanding it, I could kind of, like, you know, get it, because a lot of language is body language.
Yeah.
Just in the conversation. A lot of it's, like, Spanglish, you know what I mean? Broken English and shit. But actually, like, speaking the words and shit, I can't get that
I
tongue
barely
down.
picked up any in part, though. Except for, what's it called? Peg Mo Bajo?
Oh, fuck.
That's my shit.
You can't go up to a woman and tell them
done
that.
it. They're just like the first thing they
No,
say
you
is,
have not.
No, I have, yeah. In school and shit.
Foul.
They're like, how do you know that? How do you know
Foul
that?
as fuck.
I said, I know Filipinos.
So you know what he's going up to these girls saying, basically? Tell them what he's saying.
What it means is their things smell?
Yeah, he's walking up to some
wow.
random chick, tell him, yo, your box is stinky. Like, that's foul, bro.
Wow.
That's the one thing in a foreign language that this man can remember right now.
That's what I picked up.
That's awesome.
Pick up the part.
Yo, that's like usually what you pick up first, like the bad words and shit, right? So I think we all did that. I know a few bad Chinese words and shit.
Yeah.
So we have a guest here today.
Yes, we do.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the human beings that might be personally tuned into this at the moment?
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Alicia Cinnamon, a.k.a. Toronto's favorite spice.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's what's up. We should give her the clap, you know. Well, I mean, a clap.
Whoa!
Not the clap. Not the clap. We should give her, you know what I'm saying, like,
Dirty right now.
we going there already early with it,
Holy
right?
shit, that one
We
left
going with it.
real quick.
So that camera's focused on you, so anytime you want to say something or whatever, just feel free to look directly into that bad boy right there.
Okay.
The monitor's right here and whatnot. We got
and
the overhead
anytime
view
you want
from
your
Maloney,
voice to be
so.
picked up, just feel free to talk into the microphone.
All right, I got you.
there.
I got you.
There we go.
All right. All right.
So grown and sexy.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so what's popping? What's going on?
What is?
Like, what's going on? So you got a weekly showcase,
We're
and
not- I
do.
you know you're doing some big things. So,
Yeah.
I have an event called Rhythm and Soul Thursdays. It's like a party, and then I try to incorporate a couple of artists towards the end of the night. We do things a little bit differently. Like a lot of showcases, they start at 10 o'clock or whatever, and then there's an after party, but I like to wait until the crowd is there, so we probably start the performances maybe around 12:30ish.
That's a dope idea.
Yeah, because then nobody's worried about who's going first, second, or third.
right,
It's like the whole audience is here. So
Yeah.
in my opinion, I'd rather go first. You know what I mean? So yeah, so we do that every Thursday. That's out in the East End. We just relocated to a bigger venue. It's 4170 Kingston Road. It's called All Star Bar.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's every Thursday, Rhythm and Soul Thursdays.
Okay. Dope. That's in Scarborough?
Yes, it is.
Okay, shout out Scarborough. I'm a Scarbarian, you know what I mean? So anytime I hear of something going down in Scarborough, I gotta show, proper love.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right beside, what is it, Twice as Nice restaurant?
Okay.
Yeah, in that plaza there.
Okay. Proper. That's what's up, man. Okay. So that's going down every Thursday. How long you been doing that for?
So we did our 3-month anniversary 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been consistent. I try to I would have loved to do the Fridays, but I don't want to lock myself in on the weekends. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so the Thursdays, I was really surprised. I was like, yo, there's people actually coming out, showing love. We have the game playing and stuff like that. So it's just a cool community kind of vibe.
Dope.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I was just gonna say, Mike can speak
it was-
on it personally.
Yeah, the only thing at first I was like, when is the show gonna start?
Right.
I didn't know. I was just like,
Right.
But that's kind
Damn.
of dope, though. I like
Yeah.
that idea because that's kind of like the problem with a
Yeah.
lot of rap shows.
Yeah.
Is people start performing at 9 and then people cram in a million
Right.
people in the night, and it's
Shoot, I didn't even get to perform in front of this person or that
Yeah.
person. I was like, I get, being punctual, and I get in our mind we have things laid out a certain way where we want it to go according to plan, but sometimes you just kind of have to go with the flow.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't force the audience to be there, and essentially, if you want people to, if I'm telling you to come out and showcase yourself, who am I showcasing you to if there's nobody in the audience?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
And that's a good idea, and I think that's something that a lot of promoters in the hip hop around here, especially all of Ontario, really for the most part. That's one problem is that they don't see the value in having a shorter amount of people on the show, but making it a good show.
Exactly.
Opposed to putting 20 people on there
Exactly.
and just cramming them in person after person. You go for a cigarette and you missed a whole person's set.
Exactly.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Depends when you go for the cigarette.
Well, I hate the whole cigarette break thing,
that
you know,
that
because
was good.
It's like you don't go to a club and like the DJ's like, well, it's cigarette break time. Like you choose when you're gonna go do a whole cigarette
exactly.
break. And I feel like when they do the whole cigarette break thing at a show, it fucks the momentum up.
Yeah, because then you gotta
know
go
what I
and
mean?
collect everybody like it's
Yeah,
daycare. And
yeah.
it's like, all right, you know, recess
Well-
is over. Come back inside now, guys.
Would you
Like,
rather people be able to smoke in the club?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Yo, bring smoking in the
Sort
club
of.
back.
Nah.
Bring
I
smoking
love
in the
the
club
States,
back.
like,
Man, that fucks up your lungs and
It
shit.
does.
man.
It
Nah, man.
definitely does.
I'm
The
so
shit
glad
you
when it
the
got
shit you
cut
breathe out on the street on a daily basis does like whatever the statistic is, like 89% more damage to your lungs than secondhand smoke does.
Yeah. Try
But
being
no, it
boxed
does
up in a
fuck
fucking
you up,
room,
though.
bro.
It's like something insane. Like
With 600 people smoking in a spot.
Well, I definitely
alright.
noticed since
It's just too
like
much, man.
since the no smoking.
when I was a
laws-
kid, people were smoking in malls and shit.
No, I
would-
know that. I
you
was
know.
saying
No,
shit.
but that's the thing. Like I noticed since like
People
you can't
older
smoke
than
in
me
public
are
places, my
aight.
capacity to be around secondhand smoke has come down like
Right.
a hell of a lot less.
Because
Like,
they're babying us. It's just like, because
Yeah.
I was a daycare teacher, right? And it's like back in the days, we used to go on trips and do all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And like you fell, you scraped your ankle, your knee, whatever,
No
you
big
dust
deal.
yourself off and you get back up again.
Yeah.
Now it's like all of the field trips had to be brought into the classroom. So like everybody's living in these plastic bubbles where it's like we're afraid to like branch out and do anything. It's like, okay, half these kids don't even know how to cross the street because they've never went for a walk or any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel like we as people, it's like we are really sheltering ourselves
Yeah.
and we're not prepared for the actual world that is out there.
are kids even allowed to go play in the park by themselves
Not,
anymore?
no.
Because like my parents, like if
Not
sun was out, it
really.
was a warm day. It was like past 10 in the morning. It was like
We
get the
used to
fuck
have
out.
community aspects, right? So it's like even if your mom wasn't outside, somebody's mom was
Yeah.
outside that'll look out for you. Now it's like, yo, I don't even know if that person likes me to trust them if something happens to my
Yeah.
kid, you know? So it's different.
Well,
like,
they've
you
just
don't-
that. I feel like that's been an actual like push though. That's something that's happened is to break up communities and like the ideologies push you different things in media and stuff. No, I 100% do, man.
We just live in,
Because
in a way more digital world where
well,
kids aren't
no,
interested
it goes
in
to a
that
part
shit.
though. Like what I was gonna say is like, do you think us now, like, let's even say states as well. I know maybe not the states, but us like as a country. If it came to a point where we need an absolute revolution, I don't think our people are prepared.
Hell no.
Okay,
We have
we're
a
not.
society full of whiny babies and
Absolutely.
like that.
We're not.
Th-
we don't
this
know
is
how
a
to
this
fish
is a
and
plan that's this is an
hunt
agenda
and
that's
camp.
been
We don't even know how
pushed.
to So
Right.
Split up of communities and things like that. Any like you know what I mean? This whole thing is a push. It's happened on purpose. This isn't just like progressive thinking like we think it is. It's sold to us as progressive thinking, and we think we're making change by doing these things, but there's an agenda further on beyond it.
I don't really think so much of that. It's just again,
100%.
We've advanced more into a digital world. Like you can still put your kids into scouts and they could learn that stuff. You can still go buy all those survival guides. And
you
can
can,
learn
but
how
it's
to
that
do
different.
doesn't-
Like, they're
that
even
doesn't make you,
they're
uh,
incorporating like girls in like Boy Scouts now,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous. in
Hey
my
man, if you
opinion.
want to teach a girl how to survive, that's a
But
good thing,
that's
right?
what brownies are and Girl Scouts.
Not necessarily the same.
It is.
Not necessarily.
It's
But if you
just-
wanted to change the whole issue, you could just change the agenda in brownies then. So it
Exactly.
was more based of
Like to me, I understand the inclusiveness, but like it's like okay, if I do an all-female showcase, for example,
Right,
I shouldn't have to include guys just because they want to be on
No,
it.
I
Like the
feel you.
idea. is
I have a
an
question. Are
all-female
there still
showcase.
all girl and all guy schools allowed?
Yeah.
There are,
Then what the
yeah.
fuck is this other nonsense we're talking
Exactly.
about? Like, if you're not gonna de-root a fucking issue, you're not
Exactly.
actually solving an issue.
Well,
you're selling an image
have
of.
any of you guys ever taken
like-
brownies or?
I did.
That's the root
I
of
did
it.
brownies.
I
I
did
did
Girl
brownies.
Scouts.
Yeah.
I did Girl Scouts.
And I like the aspect of just being in a space where it was like all girls or whatever.
Yeah.
The boys had their time to do the all boy time.
People
and stuff
need
like
that.
Like, you do. It's like there's nothing wrong with it. Like, you know, the inclusiveness, I get it, but it's like it's not so much that it's segregation. It's just like if you want to wear an all red outfit, it's not like, oh, I have to put on black
No, I
pants because
feel
my
you.
red shirt's gonna feel racist.
I
you know
did
or whatever.
I did at the same time that my stepsister did it, right? And for me, the scouts was more survival based, whereas for
Absolutely.
her, the Girl Guides was more home economics based. Like
Yeah,
they were
but that's
learning more
brownies.
sewing and kind of
Brownies does the survival stuff. I
Okay.
did brownies. Girl Scouts is the cookies and all that stuff or whatever. But
Yeah.
brownies, you do get to do the survival stuff. But also, it's like, to me, I just feel like, okay, create something new then. Instead of trying
Exactly.
to, it's like, I don't want to see a woman in the NBA. Like, you know, that's what the NBA
Well, they have
is
the
for.
WNBA.
Exactly. That's my
feel
point.
you.
And I don't
I
want to
feel
see a
you.
man in the WNBA.
So
It's
feel
just like
you.
when you see like those transvestites that are beating the hell out of girls in UFC and
I
stuff
was
like
just
that.
gonna
I
ask
don't
you
agree.
about
What the
that.
hell? Like,
Yeah.
technically,
me, that's fucked up.
I don't want to get beat up by no.
Like it was like the
I
one
know
like
my strength.
it was like the one weight like yeah, it was something like that, like fucking like like not UFC, but
Yeah.
like, you know, fighting type shit or something. It was like
Yeah.
the one girl who was like
Cracked her skull or something.
like
Like
won
that,
this
yeah.
massive competition, and she was like whatever
Well,
you
I
want,
think with UFC,
transgender to some
I
degree.
think with a lot of that stuff, it boils down to testosterone levels. And with women, they naturally have a lower testosterone level than men. So in those sports, I think those people, if they transition or not, they have their testosterone levels have to be within those levels, right? So it's not like they can compete and still have the testosterone of a man. They have to be taking the drugs so that their testosterone is coming down.
However, think about it.
To the level of a woman,
It's different
right?
if they transitioned when they were like 5 or 6 years old. But if you've been a man
Like
Yeah.
your
until
whole
you're like
yeah.
20 and you know how to scrap and throw and throw down bows,
Or
and now all of a sudden
30.
you want to be
Yeah.
a girl now. No matter how much testosterone that's been
Listen.
pulled out of you, you still know a 1-2,
Listen,
like you know.
no.
So
And you still
But
have a
but
certain
some of those
body
women,
profile.
Like, I
You're
watched
built a
that UFC,
certain
though,
way.
like let's be honest though, like man or woman, some of those girls, sex doesn't matter. They'll fuck you up
Of
regardless
course,
of what
some.
your sex is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some
But
of them are
you know
straight
what?
up.
And I agree with you, but then this bears this question: is it okay for a guy to hit a girl then?
Depends on the situation. If he's defending himself,
yeah, that's different. For girls, like
Well,
just
we're not
swinging
talking
wildly,
about that. Like the girl's coming
just
at you
straight
with
up
like a
box right in
fucking
the face,
broken
then.
bottle or
Fuck.
something. Yeah, okay, sorry,
we're
I'm
speaking
getting the fuck
quality,
away.
then let's
But if
say
we're
it's
talking
gonna walk
hands on
straight up and
hands,
just like
Oh,
box
yeah,
a
that's
woman in the face,
different.
No, like
Like-
come on now.
okay,
It's not right.
exactly.
It's not right to hit anybody. For,
Exactly.
for no reason. Like,
So a guy shouldn't be going into a some sort of league that's
Yeah.
representing female excellence and being able to
Yeah.
pummel the shit out of
Straight
them.
up. I just feel like they should either have
Or
their
lift
own
more weights
league,
than them or
have
whatever.
your
Like
own
that's
league,
not
or
cool.
still be able to fight men as a transgender. That's how
Yeah.
I
I'd
look at
be
it. It's like,
interested.
why not still be able to fight guys? Like, that's
Exactly.
how I look at it.
I'd
like,
be interested.
you know,
Exactly.
so-
That's
No, I
exactly
feel
what
you.
I
I don't
think.
want to fight no. Like, I was in a unisex bathroom and I had like this. There was like 3 of them, these tall Jamaican trannies or whatever, and they were ready. Like, what's she looking at me for? And they're like, I'm like, yo, they had these deep voices. They're all dressed up in
Yeah.
their heels and stuff. I'm like, you're like 7 feet tall. I know my
listen,
strength. Like,
it's
I'm
unisex
totally not
washroom,
gonna.
though, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like-
those are dangerous as well too. Because
For me, it's more dangerous. Like I don't like unisex washing
That's a
because I
scary
don't want to
situation
be
It really
to be
was.
in.
I don't want to
It
be
really
smelling
was
what
like-
you say, like the same shit that ladies. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being like,
I
damn
don't
man,
know,
she
man.
did
I like
that.
unisex
Fuck.
washing.
Like,
Especially in nightclubs.
you like?
I
them?
don't. Not
Seven
in
night-
a not in
seven
a
night club.
gay club.
No, it's entertaining.
I don't feel like there should be unisex.
Like I don't want to
washroom.
hear the coke being done and the.
You
I
know
don't
the
think
men's
unisex washroom should
washroom?
be in a club. That's just like asking for a Me Too moment.
Bitches
like,
having
the club,
sex in the
people are
unisex
drunk and high.
bathroom.
Like that's the
But-
worst
but you
place
know,
you could
I feel
possibly
you.
do.
I don't
something
think
like that.
7 may have ever had this. They might have had a
I
situation.
don't think I've ever been to 7.
7, yes. Well,
Was that
Can I
the
get
one
a
that had like the
top off?
all black
What's that?
stalls?
Can I get
or
a
the red
top
stalls
off?
or whatever?
Yeah, but it was unisex.
Pause.
Yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Can I get a
know what
top
you're
off?
talking about.
Oh,
Pause.
especially talking about unisex washing.
But there are like unisex washrooms have existed for a while.
I'm a
Though. Like
sailor
we
in
talk
pain.
about the tunnels,
lost
the
my
famous club back in
life.
the day. Like they had a unisex washroom. But what
Right.
you were saying is true. There was definitely a lot of sex going on
Of
in those
course.
washrooms. I'm sure there was a lot of sexual
Like if I
assaults
want to
going on
go
in
and
those
like you know
washrooms.
like I don't want to see a dude when I'm like fixing my G string or this or that. Like I don't want
I
you
feel you.
there.
Thanks,
Like
brother.
it's just weird. Like
I feel you, I
we
feel you.
can link outside the washroom.
My thing is though, like personally, like if I go into Tim Hortons and I gotta take a piss in the woman's wash or like the guy's washroom is full in the woman's
Yeah, I'll
washroom,
do
like,
that
I'm
for
going
sure.
in. If it's a
Yeah.
single stall, like I don't give a
I'll do
shit.
that
I'm just
for
going in, I'll
sure.
lock the door.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
whatever.
You know what I
That's
mean?
different.
To me, it don't matter though, man. It's just a washroom.
Yeah, I
you
don't
know what I
mind
mean?
unisex washrooms. I never had an issue with it.
Because
But
you're a man.
I could. That's what I'm saying. I
As
can
a
get
female,
you.
I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, but what if
That's
you
what I
had
was gonna say.
diarrhea and the
I'm a
girl you were
man.
trying to
I'm a
smash
man, so
on
I
all
can- I
night
can
was
get
in the
your
bathroom too?
perspective, you know?
Like
waiting
I
for
remember
you.
one time
And you had
what was
diarrhea.
that place by Lansdowne and Bloor where I first met you when Freddie did his show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That
and
place.
there was like the women's washroom. I don't know what these girls are doing there, fighting or something. So I'm like, let me go in the men's washroom. And I didn't think anybody was in there. And I go inside and hear, hello. And I was like, what the? And there's like a guy taking a shit in the stall. And he's full on having a conversation with me. And I'm like, I just wanted to
so
fix
weird.
myself for my performance
Yeah.
or whatever. And I'm like, this is awkward. He's like, how are you doing? You performing today? And we're like, full on having a conversation. I'm like, am I bothering you? He's like,
Yo.
not at all. Like,
Yo,
I have my best conversations when I'm on the shit.
I
app.
would love women to come into the men's
Just most
while
people
you're
think it's
taking a
weird.
shit.
Yes,
Like,
men would love that.
Yo,
I feel like
I
was
love
married.
talking on the
Weird.
shitter.
Yo, do y'all have like the those
Nothing
attendants
better.
that hand you the paper towels in the female
Yeah.
washroom?
Yeah.
Because like do you feel obligated to tip them?
No, I always
Not
tell
when
them.
it's paper towel. Like,
I
if
always
I'm
tell
taking
them.
your perfume or your candy, sure, but paper
Okay.
towel, you're not gonna take all the paper towel out of this dispenser and then tell me that I have to pay you afterwards.
No,
Like,
as soon as I spot them when I'm coming in, I just try to befriend them. I'm like, oh, hey, man, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't have money to give you tonight, but you don't have to wash my hands for me, and you don't have to hand me nothing. I'm like, but you're my man, all right?
I'll come out with like toilet paper
And then
from the
we're good.
bathroom. Like, I'm good. I got toilet
Then
paper.
go
I
blow a
don't-
line in the back.
In
Go
Cuba,
blow a line in the stall.
in Cuba,
and
you gotta
fucking-
pay for toilet paper in
That's
some
crazy.
public washrooms.
That
Like,
is
there's an
crazy.
attendant waiting for you, and she'll give you
I want to
give you
go
a
to
bunch,
Cuba,
you know.
but I don't know about all of that.
Oh
Cuba's
man, it
lit.
was fun.
Cuba is
It was
dope.
lit,
But
bro.
I
I
pay for my
love.
toilet paper.
I fucking
Like that.
love Cuba, man.
I might as well just
Yeah.
bring it with me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can do that
absolutely.
too.
You can do that.
I'll bring
Yeah.
it.
Bring a backpack with you. Absolutely. Bring
I mean, I'm
soda
gonna
with
bring
you.
it from Canada.
Listen,
Yeah.
bring ketchup with you. Bring some salt and pepper with you. Bring all the condiments with you. Cause
I don't even eat all
they got
that.
catsup. They don't have ketchup down there.
Catsup?
Yeah, they
What's
don't.
that?
It's like generic ketchup or something. I don't
What's
know.
wrong with that?
But they had Frank's Red Hot.
Listen, the way our condiments taste.
No, they
It's
didn't.
not how their condiments taste.
Okay.
Their
No,
condiments
it's not.
don't taste like.
See, I'm part Cuban, and apparently we don't have spices. I've never
Yeah.
actually been to Cuba,
Yeah.
but it's because we don't do the import-export.
Exactly.
No, exactly,
The
because of
trading-
the
trading
US.
isn't the same.
However, Cuba has the number 3 healthcare system in the world.
Yep.
You could be poor on the street and your teeth are lit, your
And they'll
body
help
is
you
healthy and
out.
everything.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
they got dental care, healthcare, everything is free out there. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor or a homeless
Yo,
person. On
This
the
is
street.
why the CIA wanted to kill Fidel Castro.
Of course, everything about Fidel, like the like growing up for me is like, especially being in school and hearing people like like talk down on Fidel and being
Yeah.
Cuban, and I'm like we don't look at him
Yeah.
like that. Like
Yeah.
he protected us from whatever it was that the Americans were trying to bring into us and,
Yeah.
and corrupt the system. Same thing like with what is it, Gaddafi.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like it's America will paint this picture that these dictators, so to speak, are monsters, but really it's like we're trying to preserve the culture within our
Exactly.
country or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with culture. Like we live in this day and age now where people are like, oh, I don't see color. Like when you look at me and you tell me you don't see a black girl, if you're gonna tell me that, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like when you go shopping, you buy a red shirt or a pink shirt or whatever the case may be. You're not just like, hey, I'm just picking up random. I'm gonna wear blue,
Yeah,
green,
yeah.
and orange together.
You're trying to stay
Right.
that shit.
Exactly. When you buy a
You have
pit bull,
taste.
it's like I want a blue nosed dog or you know what I mean? I want a black dog or this or that. So why when it come to people, we don't see color, we don't see culture, and we're trying to like blend everything in together. And it's like once we learn how to embrace these different cultures, like Cuba might not have the best food, but it has
Right.
some beautiful women and some
Absolutely.
great ass island. There's different
Some of the
aspects.
nicest beaches in the
I
world.
heard
Straight
the best
up.
food is off the
A
resort.
rich history.
Of course.
Do you know
Yeah,
what's a great
so-
thing about Cuba? It's a place you can go and you don't see skyscrapers as soon as you land.
Yeah.
You go to
Exactly.
fucking Egypt and there's skyscrapers, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Egypt
like
is
try
not the
traveling
same.
the world
Oh my
and learn
God.
about history, and everywhere you go,
Yeah.
there's fucking banks and
Yeah.
Yeah.
all this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Egypt
nah,
went to
like
the
you go to
shits
Cuba,
right now.
like
Yeah.
Now you go to
it's old
You go to
crumbling
Cuba
cities
and,
that
yeah.
are made to live.
Exactly.
You got
be
crumbling
lived in
cities,
right
but
now.
it's also
It's
it's also
fucking
very Spanish and very
ama-
African.
Exactly.
But it's just
You know what I
very
mean?
human.
Well, a lot of people don't even
It's
know.
human.
Like 80% of the Cuban population is Afro-Cuban.
Yes,
So
they
Yes.
recognize
they don't
that.
show that
Yeah, they
on the
never show that
commercials
stuff.
No.
and all that stuff. Like you think
But the
everybody looks like
people-
J Lo, but when you go there,
yeah.
like, oh shoot. Same thing with Brazil,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, all those
Yeah.
places. It's like it's a very strong Afro Latino
Oh,
community or whatever.
Brazil's massive. Like
Brazil.
people don't
Yeah.
really recognize or don't really state that like Brazil took more slaves than any country in the world. You know what I mean? And most, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. Brazil, like you said, a good 80 to 90%
Yeah.
of that population is African in Brazil.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
It's
they
like
don't
that's
show
we
you
just
that.
we gotta learn how to embrace. I mean, it's a sad history, yes, but now we gotta learn how to pick the good parts of
Yeah.
each different culture. Every culture,
Yeah.
whatever it created, you know what I mean. I'm here because of
Yeah,
whatever
all
the
of that.
result is.
No
Would I
doubt.
like things to be different? Of course, but I'm here now, so it's like. Do I denounce my Latino roots because I was a descendant of this, that, and the other?
Yeah.
Do I denounce my Caribbean roots because I didn't straight come from Africa? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, or we just learn how to embrace all these different aspects
Yeah.
of it. Because in this day and age, we've created a whole new culture. It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
even what it was
Yeah.
300 or 400 years
It's
ago.
about what
Like,
it is now.
Exactly.
And that's why I always like try to be really careful when I use the word America. Because we live in America. We don't live in the United States of America.
live in
America
North
goes from
America.
the top of Canada
Yep.
to the bottom of South America.
Exactly.
And the actual word America means new world.
Right.
And if you think about all the hands that were, here to help create
Right.
this new world after the old inhabitants were
Yep.
eventually wiped out, you know what I'm saying? Like
Well-
it's every race of people that exists today.
Exactly.
Prior to
Some fashion form, you know?
1857, we lived in Hudson Bay Co.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
It's still
what
the
this
Americas.
the Americas when they named it on a map, it was called Americas, the new world. That's what America means. in
Central,
Spanish.
North,
If you look
South,
at old
all of it.
European maps.
Yeah, of course.
We were Hudson Bay Co.
But what they call
That's
this
what we're
hemisphere, what they
marked
called this
as.
hemisphere was America, not necessarily what they called particular Canada.
Did they really go by hemisphere so much back then?
They didn't really know it was here, right? So when they discovered it, they called it America, the New
That's
World.
why they call it the West.
The Western Hemisphere.
Know what Midwest is.
And we're really young in comparison to a lot of European
Very much
stuff.
so.
You know, like our history is 400 or 500 years for, you know, say the non-native stuff. And
Right.
there's people who live in, you know, stuff that's been in a mountainside that's been etched out and been a home there for like, you know, 1,500 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like 400 or 500 generations of families have lived in that house. You
Of
know what I
course.
mean?
That is so
So-
sick.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
crazy when you
human.
think about time, right?
That's what being human is.
Exactly.
Like that's what's like.
What about if you're a nomad?
You just drift. You just drift.
Well, the thing is, I mean,
There's
something
different
that a
ways of
lot of
living.
people don't realize, and this is like, if me and my friend on Facebook, we go back and forth at it all the time because he's very into the native studies. And for me, I'm like, a lot of people don't realize the natives weren't like these red-skinned Indians that we're seeing today. They were dark-skinned indigenous people. So the Olmecs were actually the first settlers in North America, and they're black, the Louisiana Moors. So when you say that, and it's like, if you get technical, like, you know, it's like how do I explain it? It's like the world that we live in right now. It's like the stories that we were told growing up are it's all garbage.
It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
Like we gotta just dispel everything that we thought we knew in elementary school and go relearn stuff for ourselves because all the information is there. And that's where it's like sometimes I'll be arguing with people and I'm like, why am I arguing with you? Like I'm not talking with opinion. I'm talking like actual facts here.
Well, that's the
Like,
saddest part is that basic history is all lies.
Mm-hmm.
So once you try to start to talk about actual things and actual history,
Right.
a lot of people who are very simple-minded just shut you off.
Right.
It's like you're a conspiracy theorist because
Right.
the three most simple things that actually are lies in human history, most people just assume is truth. Like one example, let's use Christopher Columbus. You know what I mean? There's people who shut you off in an argument or a comment, even though it's proven.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like you're just fed false bullshit history.
Yeah.
If you even think about what actually happened and look at the fucking evidence of the planet and how things have evolved and what comes from what and all that, you just looked at it like you're like nuts almost. Like
Right.
by majority of people, it's like you're a conspiracy theorist.
Of
It's like,
course.
no, I just literally looked
Yeah.
at history. Like,
It's like I'd rather
there's
keep
no
up
conspiracy.
with the world than the
The
Kardashians.
conspiracy
Like,
is
yeah.
why are we all lied to fit this certain mold of
Exactly.
a world?
Yeah.
And that's why I personally believe society, it always has been, and it is to this day, being pushed in a certain direction. Like this shit doesn't just happen by chance, bro.
Nah, I
Right.
feel you. Well, that being said, I want
the
to send a
world is
huge
so-
shout out to Dr. Ivan Van Sertima because based on what you're saying, like he actually has a book. There's a book by a man. He's from Guyana. It's called "They Came Before Columbus," and I had an opportunity to read that when I was really early in my 20s. So I read about the Olmecs. And,
Yeah.
You know, seeing a bunch of other people. Olmecs are the gods that in Mexico,
Yep.
early inhabitants believed. And you can look at the statues and definitely see that.
The nose.
They had
Like,
African
that's what they keep shooting off
features
our
and-
noses on all the statues
Yeah.
because your nose gives away everything. Like, okay, that's a brother.
But definitely check out that book or check out Dr. Ivan
What did you
Vance.
say it was
It's called They Came Before Columbus.
They Came Before
But
Columbus,
the
yeah.
actual guy who wrote his name's Dr. Ivan Van Sertima.
Okay.
And he talks a lot about that people who came before Columbus.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things like even the name California. Believe it or not, comes from the story of an African woman who was like a queen who had like a bunch of
Yeah.
it was like a love story
Yeah.
or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Almost like
Something like that,
the Queen
yeah.
of the Damned with
Yeah.
Aaliyah is almost based on her and whatnot. The name California comes from a black princess, who inhabited that part before the Spaniards
Well,
came.
most of the
eventually
places in America,
colonized
like
it.
Manhattan and all those places,
Oh, they were all
those are
native
all
names.
like
Yeah,
native
Missouri,
names, but like
Tallahassee.
you
those
still
are all
have the
native
black
names.
Indians
Fuck,
that
Canada
still
is Canada.
exactly.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Mississauga.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All that stuff, man.
Yeah.
How you pronounce
Kelowna,
Right.
all that shit, man. Manitoba, Winnipeg.
Toronto.
We would.
Right?
You see, like some European wouldn't just come up with any. Hey, let's call this shit Winnipeg. Why?
Exactly.
I don't fucking know. Winnipeg. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like it was already named.
Yeah.
Man.
Which is
Absolutely.
like, it's just so fucked up, bro.
At this point,
it
it's
is.
like when people are like, oh, I didn't learn that in school. Like, to me, that's no excuse. School to me was just daycare. You
I
had to
feel
go
you.
so your parents could work
Yeah.
and do stuff.
Yeah.
Now, as an adult, you have, like, the same time that you're spending on Facebook and responding to status and stuff. Like, sometimes people ask questions, and I'm just like, yo, like, like you. And I'm just like, just Google this. Like, it's
Yeah,
right
just
here. Like,
fucking
just
with
Google
people,
it. Like, he
man.
likes
Yeah.
terrorizing people, but there are some people who literally do
Shout
not.
out to
Oh,
like,
we
Mike.
got a free. we literally
I love
like.
Mike for that.
Hey, y'all remember when we were kids?
Yeah,
When we were
like,
kids, we had these guys who would come to our door like, hey, you want to buy this encyclopedia?
Encyclopedias, right.
Now we got this shit's called Encyclopedia Google a motherfucking
Straight
column.
up.
You can find anything
Yeah.
you want on that shit if
Exactly.
you know how to look.
Exactly.
All you got to do is find it. Because they always always have to cite the sources. You could click on that shit and go down some deep holes and really find some stuff out. It's not always true what they say on Wikipedia. You got to
no, Wikipedia is mad.
You do enough
bullshit.
search, like you can. I'm not saying take the first page. Like I usually just go down a couple pages, go through different things, and then start. Certain things, like the world that we live in, everything is common sense. So it's like you get the information, you don't have to take it verbatim. But once you decipher certain things that make sense to you, like the world is not that complicated.
No,
we make it so complex, but it's really not.
We're sold an image that things are so much more complex than they really are. Because if you're too busy trying to figure out the most simple of things. Then you're never going to look at anything that's being, like, it's like the wool in front of your eyes.
Exactly.
And there's mad simple shit happening to people, have been happening to people. A massive agenda, once again, goes to that. But, yo, man, because people are just so dumb. That's the thing.
Loves his
a lot,
conspiracies.
But no, it's not even
I love conspiracies.
I love them too. I'm just
like,
actually, you know what?
I'm here on my nipsy
actually, you know
stuff.
what?
Like, I've just been
I respect that because you called it a conspiracy, and that's what it is. The issue is that many people attach the word theory to conspiracy.
Right.
Put it this way: the way I look at any social injustice, anything where I think could someone else have had involvement, a CIA something. The way I look at it is the same way that the government would look at me. If I fucking walked out of a park and fucking some woman was just brutally beaten 5 minutes before and I had my bandana on and shit, they're going to be like, oh, that dude did it. You know what I mean? Conspiracy to fucking rape, whatever. And they're going to press me, and now I have to prove my innocence. Well, that's all I do. Anytime I present a conspiracy, just prove the innocence in it.
Exactly.
That's
And
to
if
me,
you have
like,
enough,
just don't argue with emotions. Like, give me facts. Like, I'm all about facts. Like, once you
as soon as you have enough evidence, it's no longer conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy, and now
just
you have
give
to
me
prove
facts
what's.
And tell me where I can go do my own homework. I'm not gonna take. I'll hear what you have to say. And then whether I have my beliefs or not, even if I think I'm right, I'm still going to go do a little fact checking because there's some truth to everything. So it's like, why did this person, like, for example, the world being flat or round?
I just started to understand.
Tell me you're not a flat earther.
I'm not. Like, you know what?
I am to a certain degree because I don't, like, maybe it's the Simpsons, that Simpson movie corrupted me. I do believe we have this dome. I don't believe that it's like this. How do I explain it? I believe
like
that,
it's a dome over us? Like, it's the
like
ozone layer.
Whatever you want to call it.
I believe
that there is the edge of the earth because we always talk about it.
Right.
And there's
Well, why can't flight routes?
What?
Why can't planes fly like?
Right. Thank you. I had a pilot break it down to me. He's like, it's not that, like, when you're going to, let's say, Africa, and they make you go zoom, 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 so they can make it look more complex than it really is. But really, all you got to do is go like this to certain places. So it's like, why is that? And then why is there certain places on the quote-unquote edge of the earth that we're not allowed to access?
You're not allowed to go to Antarctica.
Right. Why?
Why?
You can't claim it. You can't do nothing over there.
Well,
So
I have a theory as to why you can't.
Hold on.
All right, proceed.
If I'm in fucking California, the west coast of the States, why can I not take a 3-hour flight across the ocean to go to Australia? Why do I have to take a 25-hour flight all the way the opposite way across the world?
Because it doesn't take 3 hours to fly to Australia from California. It takes a hell of a long motherfucking time. And because there's
How long does it take to fly across that thing of
I think
ocean?
at least 14 hours.
But they don't fly across the ocean. They fly the other way.
They go
Right,
around.
and do you want to know why they fly
continents.
around? You want to know why they fly around? Exactly. Because if they
that's
run
a
out of fuel,
great
they
theory.
have some issues.
The amount of water the amount of actual water that is, there's other flights in the world that take those flights. So that's a poor excuse.
Oh man.
It's not that big of a body. I mean, it's big.
The Pacific is massive.
Yeah, but you're going.
Massive.
That's why I say California. Because you're on par. Equator-wise, you're close. So all you have to do, it's a straight flight. You're not crying,
A lot of these
going
flights are
diagonally across the
like,
ocean.
The way that they're making us
Our-
go. Like, I
our-
had an actual pilot break it down, and once he said that, it made me look at the world
differently.
Okay.
It's
differently.
weird, man.
We look at
Totally
we
differently.
have
But do you
these
know what-
traditional
hold on.
maps that we look at, and they're sized a
bullshit.
certain way. They're absolutely fucking bullshit. Because you look at it and be like, oh, the Pacific Ocean's about as big as the Atlantic Ocean. No, the Pacific Ocean is the world's biggest ocean, and it is fucking massive. There isn't very much between like Asia to Australia to like Papua New Guinea and Fiji and a few of those islands to us. There's not a lot of shit
Right.
there. Hawaii and then
No, it's
like
water.
at least like 3,000 kilometers to Hawaii, and
Would
then
you
maybe like
rather
another
be in a
3,000
plane
to
that
Australia.
crashes into a body of water or into the pavement in a building?
It's pretty close.
I would rather go with the water. So that's a pretty poor excuse, in my opinion.
Speaking, it seems close. It's just what's in between.
But Australia is also
That's
down
it,
there.
that's the real
Asia.
map.
That's what I said. Asia's close to Australia.
That's no,
But
that's
is that
Asia,
the
right?
But
real
there's-
map
I
of the
don't
world?
know.
Because
I'm
remember,
just
there's
wondering.
a
I'm just-
real map of the
Yeah.
world.
But
where it's
here,
like everything that we learned
There's
is
one
completely
other
corrupted.
thing that
But is
recently.
North America actually that close to Asia at the tip?
At the tip, yes.
Yeah.
Between Alaska and Russia.
So why is
yes.
it not a 5-hour, fucking 2-hour flight to fucking?
Asia is technically Africa. It's like what is it called,
Yeah.
like East Africa or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Right
Europe,
up here.
kind of. Well, Europe's technically
Like if you
Asia.
look at it in the actual, I can't remember.
And
what
why
it's
every time you look at a flat map, does the
Yeah.
flat map start with North America on this side? Have you ever noticed it doesn't ever start with like Europe on this side and then it goes to? It's always that same structure. The same
I've seen
structure
somewhere
you
it's
can't
half and
fly
half.
across.
I've seen somewhere it's like half of North America is here, half of North America is here, and like Asia and Africa.
What
was
I
kind of in
Where
there.
they
learned
split it
in
up
school is
differently.
pretty much like,
but
okay,
generally, anyone you look
the
at,
concept of the globe, like this is where they got the whole world is round from, is that in the 1960s or some crap like that, whatever, they came up with a globe.
Right.
Nobody knew where this globe
They've
came
had
from.
globes.
They just slapped the globe
Stoan?
together.
sorry,
Like they just slapped the globe together and said, okay. Like I remember up until maybe 2012. Yeah, that's when the globes like in schools and stuff came out.
They had globes long before that.
No,
though.
in actual schools though, with the actual like for example, when I was in elementary school, I couldn't find my country on the map.
Right.
My country existed. Why
Right.
the hell is it not on the globe?
Right.
So that shows
wow.
me that this is just somebody like who. It's only maybe the last 5 or 10 years that I've been able to find Nevis because it's just a dot on the map. So my thing is, if
But did
you-
it go under a different name or?
No, it just wasn't there.
Okay.
Like, we just
That's
didn't exist.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, in map time in school, like, what is it, geography class, and everybody, hey, I'm from here, I'm from there, and I can't find me.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I believe this? If you guys are going to make a globe of the world and all these countries exist, why would you leave out certain things just because it doesn't fit into your little bubble or your box?
Yeah.
So then that's when I started, when they were taking it, they're like, literally, somebody just came up with the concept of a globe, and that's where we started getting the idea that the world was round.
Hey.
There's no
history.
actual, like,
History was
reason
wrote by
behind
those
it,
who
and it's
hung
like-
heroes.
None of us have ever really traveled, like all this space travel and stuff. None of us have really ever traveled out to space to say, yeah,
And-
we've seen the other round
and
planets.
one other
stuff.
thing.
We just have to go with what they tell us.
So you're
Yo.
saying like my
Like-
man Galileo
Hold on.
wasn't
You can fly from Los
conceiving
Angeles
this
to
shit.
China.
Hold on.
And
What
the
didn't he just
Egyptians,
drop like
Dustin.
But the Egyptians are different.
I have
Like
one
the
more thing.
Egyptians. Did they say the world was round? I don't know. They built the pyramids.
They
and we
understood
still can't figure out
mathematics.
how they built the pyramids.
with
Oh man,
mathematics. and
Egyptians is a whole
With
nother
math,
thing.
okay, so 1 + 1 = 2, and it built a pyramid.
No,
No.
but you gotta understand. You gotta
Bro.
understand like solar. You know, what I'm saying like
Bruh.
revolutions around the sun and gravity and things of that.
Okay,
nature.
but how
Egyptians-
did they get to the top of the
Egyptians
pyramid?
is a whole
only thing I
nother
wanna know.
That's a whole nother conversation.
What crane?
That's an
were they
episode
using?
long
We
conversation.
need a lot more weed before we can get into the
But
Egyptians
yo,
conversation.
another thing I
We
want
can
to
really
say
get into
in the
shits
credits
with
of
it.
Flat Earth, though. Now I'm
Right,
taking
right,
this from
right.
Lord Jamar,
Okay.
but Lord Jamar is one of those dudes
Shout out Lord Jamar.
who will shit on an idea he thinks is stupid.
Yeah.
And once he's well researched in it, he'll give a fair opinion.
Right.
And I watched him get converted to not a flat earther, but a potential one. And when I
Yeah.
listened to the research that he did, some of the shit, man, like, yo.
Yeah.
Now, me, I'm not going to quote this verbatim because, for one, I didn't do this research. But this
Yeah.
is on Lord Jamar.
Take this jacket out. Yeah.
But gravity has never been scientifically proven. It's just a theory.
Exactly. All this stuff that we learned.
So
is
what?
we were
Density?
told,
So
like-
density is technically gravity.
Yep.
Is that a theory in itself?
Well, density is
Density
is
exists,
scientifically
yes.
proven.
Yeah. But this room is dense. with
But
air.
gravity
We can't measure
has
that.
never been scientifically proven. It's a theory.
Yeah.
It was crafted as a theory, and it's never actually been proven since in all these years.
Most of the stuff that we believe in, it's like, who told us?
Somebody-
Like, it's just stuff
So
that
how
we were
shoddy-
taught in school, and
Yeah.
that it's like Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
We all believed
Yeah.
that until we were like, okay,
Yeah.
let's try something different
Yeah.
now. Or somebody put a thought in our head, and it's like, hey, like there's this book that I read called "Is Adam Black or White?" and it's by Dr. Reverend Malachi,
Yeah.
and it combines religious.
Malachi York.
Yes. And
Oh,
it's
you
New
need to
York.
watch out. You
Yeah.
need to watch out reading Malachi York.
Nah, man, it combines
you know
religious.
you know who Malachi York is?
Of course I do.
You know where he's at right now?
I think he's out right now, but he was in prison
he
for
ain't out.
being with a underage girl.
A
Man,
lot of them. But proceed.
Right.
the number one attack,
That's a whole
first
other
of all, of a
conversation.
freedom
Right.
fighter
But what I'm saying
is
is
a
whole other
sexual
conversation
misconduct.
if we get into like
misconduct
Malachi
case.
York and shit. 'Cause,
The thing
you know,
is, it's
Tupac
like-
went to jail for what?
Exactly. I'm like, if you really dig into
all I'm
every
saying.
single person's past, we all got some skeletons in our closet that people could probably.
I know
be
some
like,
people.
eh.
been
No, but some
down to
shit's just
Atlanta,
straight up
down to
made
the
up about
pyramid and
people
shit.
who
They
are
been
powerful.
fucked up because of what happened to him, man. Like I know some people that You're
But
still
here's
a little
the thing:
fucked
it's just
up
like there's people
with
that have been fucked
Malachi
up by
York
Christianity.
shit.
There's people that have been fucked up by a Muslim, being Muslim or Buddhist or
I
this
know,
or that.
but he's
It's
making
how
some
deep do
wild
you
claims.
choose? But it's how deep do you choose to go into it? Just because
feel
somebody
you, I
gives you
feel
a
you, I
theory
feel you.
doesn't mean that you have to become a follower. Like when I read that book, it made me look at, and I'm probably gonna go back and read it again today. The thing is, it's not even about the truth. It's between. Sorry, I have allergies.
Everything is two
Between
perspectives,
that
really.
book and the Celestine Prophecy,
Right.
it made me have a different understanding for people. There's certain people I can't even argue with anymore because I'm
Right.
like, you're vibrating on this frequency,
Yeah.
and you're never going to be able to understand what it is I'm saying because I see the world in a different way.
Different
than you.
way.
So it's not that I'm right and it's not that you're wrong. It's just that we are not having
Perspective.
right. And once people overstand that, because it's like a lot of arguments can be resolved. It's like, okay, if you grew up and everything in your world was black and white, and you grew up and everything in your world was colored.
Right.
You can't explain color to somebody who's never
Yo,
seen
No, a broken
that's one
clock's
thing
right
I
twice a
always,
day, right?
That's the one
Right.
thing I always say to people when I use for an example of just people, you are only as smart as what you've been taught.
Exactly.
And that's it. And if
Exactly.
all you've ever been taught is bullshit, then that's only as
Exactly.
smart as you are.
Exactly.
And it's funny you because that example is one that I've always come up with. I use
Yeah.
to people because it's stupid, but it's simple and gets the point across. Is if I had a kid and I left it locked in a fucking cellar for the 18
Exactly.
years of its life, and it's the whole time I taught him the sky is fucking green,
Yeah.
the grass is orange, and pavement is purple, he would come out that day and if he was in a conversation really be
Right.
fucked up.
Right.
Because he'd be like, no, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like what people have with colorblind because of the signals, the way it sends the, you know what I mean? They can't differentiate certain
Exactly.
colors. But you're only as smart as you know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, speaking of colorblind, can we all agree that our man, motherfucking Mike Stoan, to the left of me, is definitely colorblind and fucked up, rocking the other side today? Like,
Nah, man, make some noise for
like,
fucking.
he's
I
repping
didn't
the
even
Warriors.
make
see
some-
that.
What is going
Look
on
at the
here?
hater.
No.
We're in the
No.
playoffs right now.
Stone is
We are
the
in
ultimate troll.
We're not only in the playoffs, we're in the finals, and this guy is repping for the other side. He's repping the ops right now.
Yeah, but if
My
that's
man's
his
repping
team,
the
that's
ops.
his team, bro.
Listen, I rep the Yanks, you know what I'm saying? But
I
I
rep
don't rep
the
the
Yanks, too.
But if it's playoff time and they're against the Jays, fuck the Yanks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because I don't care about
my whole
sports, so I
team.
do that too. But yo, basketball, Celtics is my team, yo. Like Celtics and the fucking Raptors going at it.
You
Like,
look like a
love the
Celtics fan.
when
I'm
they
sorry,
finally
bro.
got their-
You look like the
their
type of
ring. I was
motherfucker who would
happy.
be in Brooklyn with a Celtics jersey.
Don't care.
nah, I wasn't with the
Is it
Brooklyn.
Celtics
Yo,
or Celtics? That's the
Celtics?
$10
Well-
million question. Some guys are like debating
Larry
that.
Bird.
Technically-
You got a Larry Bird jersey, don't you? You scuffed a man's Jordans
but I
with your
had the
bite.
Pierce. I had
Larry
like
Bird was the
five.
shit.
I have five
Larry Bird
versions
was.
of the
He
Pierce
was.
though. Pierce was the
That was
man.
when basketball
I had
was just
five
at an
versions.
all-time high.
I had the gray with the round logo, that little,
Yeah.
you know, like limited edition one they did with Reebok.
Pinstripes
Then I had like, you
and-
know, the classic Reebok, that like the plastic shitty
Alright,
ones
so
that like
let's
if someone
talk
put a
about the
flame
fucking
to it,
Celtics.
light it
Stolen
up.
from Africa,
The
say, go
regular
Raptors.
jerseys, you know what I
Let's
mean?
get back to the Raptors, man.
Stolen
Nah,
from
man.
Africa and say,
Yo,
go
make some
Raptors.
noise for the
Raptors in the
Celtics.
playoffs.
Make some
You
noise
got
for
to
the
know that
The
Celtics.
Raptors, because we're in the
Oh,
finals,
shit.
and we're gonna fuck up the Warriors tonight.
Snap.
I like the Warriors, but we're gonna
Stolen
fuck
from
them up
Africa,
tonight.
how you mean?
We like Snapper Curry, but we
nah.
don't fuck with
But no, let's be honest,
Stephen
let's be
Curry
honest for a second.
in the six.
Let's be honest for a second, though.
The
It's big
Raptors.
things that the Raptors are doing,
Raptors.
and it's big things that the Raptors are doing. Shout out Kawhi Leonard. He just
course.
bought a house here in the city, so hopefully that
Oh,
means
did he?
signed. Just
Yeah.
did.
Okay,
Just
good.
did.
I gotta go find
And,
where he lives.
Shout out all those crazy ass motherfuckers who were brave enough to get up on that cop car and threaten those cops.
Yeah.
But here's the thing:
That's
it's
some
not
great
even
shit.
bravery. These guys love to tell media stories. Where the hell were the cops? Nobody's gonna leave a
They were
cruiser
in
and
their
just.
car. They got threatened, so they got out like. Oh,
No,
shit.
but see, do you know what? To me, I love that energy. Like I'm going to see Adam Sandler Friday, right? And then it's at the Molson Amphitheater, so it has to be done by 11. So by the time I'm getting out, I can get to Jurassic Park. By the time it's finishing, hopefully they win, and it's a mob,
Oh,
and
you'll be right there.
I can enjoy the
You'll
energy,
be
right?
right there.
But
3-1.
as much as I love the energy, the one thing I say about it though is it's fucking stupid. You couldn't get that amount of people to act like that and cause a public disrupt
Right.
for something that affects their day-to-day life.
Right.
But they'll do it because of fucking sport team, which they own no percentage of any of the franchise
Very true.
royalty checks and none of that shit.
Look what
Fuck it,
Floyd was
like
doing.
it's crazy.
Nobody even said it. Well,
It's
that's
fucking,
no protesting.
it's fucking bread and circuses, man. That's all it is.
Imagine if we did that when we found out that like our boys or our homegirls got pregnant. Oh, you pregnant?
Right. What?
Like,
Jurassic
like,
Park.
Yeah.
freaking out and shit like that, like jumping up on cars.
Yeah.
and shit.
You gotta
That'd be
be
a lot
hype.
of parties then.
Yo.
I know, right?
But I'm saying there's gonna be a lot of kids. There's gonna be a lot of kids in about 10 months, 9 months from now. Actually, named like Kawhi Leonard Miller or Kawhi Leonard Johnson.
There's
That
Kawhi and there's Ermias. Those are gonna be the two
I can
names
speak-
for 2020.
I can
for
speak
sure.
on this.
Yep.
I can speak on this because my feminine name, Kelly,
Yeah, you kinda
was given to me by my mother, who
That's
in
an Irish thing, though,
1988 had a huge.
on
I
Kelly
find it
Gruber.
is. Yeah, she loved Kelly
I love
Gruber.
Kelly Gruber.
And this is
Oh my
before
God.
they won the series
dad's
back to
big
back
fan.
because
Yeah,
I'm 89.
Gruber.
So then when they won the
Joe
back to back
Carter,
series, yo,
Jose
whew,
Canseco,
fuck
Roberto
with me.
Alomar, that was the
Yeah.
best. 92 was the best.
Juan Guzman.
Drake talk back to back. I
James
live
Harden.
that.
How
White.
come the name Aubrey and Drake didn't pick up on kids?
It probably did.
Nah,
Because it's a whack name.
Girls
Grant
are being
probably
named
did.
Aubrey.
Grant probably did.
Nobody's gonna name their man-child Aubrey.
Named in your glory.
I'm sure there's a lot of little Drakes.
I have a
running
little
around
girl
out
that was
there.
named after me. Actually,
That's awesome.
what is it? The owner of Worldwide Entertainment, the UK side, he named his daughter Alicia.
Oh yeah, kid.
Like,
Wow.
Dope.
That's lit.
Shout out to Worldwide Entertainment
Right?
too. Kevin's coming through tomorrow for an
Straight up.
interview.
Word, shout them out, man.
Big shout outs to
Straight up.
Kev.
What?
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 The last part you said?
What?
Something
Scabs?
interview.
Worldwide Entertainment coming through.
Oh, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah.
word. Big,
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what else is
Yeah,
popping in our
squad,
crazy
squad.
city, man? Like, I feel like there's a lot going on.
Well,
in the
Nav
city, but
canceled the show
Nav had to cancel a show.
because he didn't want to compete with the Raptors.
Man, that's love right
That's
there.
smart.
Nav.
No, you know
Smart
what?
move, Nav.
If
Forget
you
about love,
if you're
that's
mad
smart.
TMZ ain't recognize you and you ain't willing to try to go toe to toe with the Raptors, there's something wrong with you,
He
man.
was really complaining about that.
Yeah.
That's such a
You-
that's such a
you need
Canadian
passion.
mentality.
No,
That
there's
ain't
another group
passion.
that had to cancel the show because there's a big group, rock group that had to cancel the show.
Yeah, because
they
it
were
was
with
at the
ACC.
fucking ACC. That's a little different.
Yeah.
Listen. He knows where his bread and butter is at. He's not going to compete with the fucking Raptors.
What's the show anyways?
I don't know. I didn't hear about it.
I
Did
don't
you?
know.
I'm gonna look that up.
Everyone's just going to show up mad late.
I doubt it's at the
anyways, though,
ACC
so.
or Scotia.
You know what?
Probably
I don't
at,
even
at,
want the
Drake
Nav
Hotel or
interview.
something, you know
That's
what I mean?
Hey,
bad.
yo,
How you nav and you doing a show at Drake Hotel?
Yo, that's
It's
money.
200
I don't know.
people, man.
If they're paying for
Yo,
if they're paying
can we
25
agree?
That's still
We don't
nothing.
even want the
Especially
Nav
five
interview.
rats.
We don't want the Nav interview.
Stop this, bro. You're gonna want that
God.
in the next 2 months.
Just a cider.
We gonna want that? Nah, man.
You
That's
like
cool.
Nav?
Do your thing.
I don't think I've ever really taken him in. I hear the name. but-
Yeah, because
Yeah,
when
I
you hear
have,
it,
but
you're
I
like, this is
haven't like
trash.
that.
Yeah, that's true.
No, he's got some decent
There's
stuff.
another
Like, I heard
rapper
he's
I would
good,
call
but it's just,
trash
like,
right
the
now, but
promo behind it was
Yeah,
just more
yeah.
like a like.
There's like
Did it
guys like
intrigue
him and
me.
like Sean Leon, like they're on like a certain level, and I'm like, yo,
Right.
you guys are dope. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Nah.
you guys are at that next level before cresting
Right.
around, but just about to kind of crest
Right.
around, you know? So I
Yeah.
tip my hat to them.
nah.
You just hating.
what's
You,
up.
you
No,
hating
it's
that.
just whack, man. Mike agrees. He
Oh,
just
man.
isn't saying it on the mic.
You
he's
can't
got
throw a
some-
DJ
he's
under
got
the
some
bus
slaps.
like that. That's an asshole
Right?
move.
There's a lot of stuff I don't like from him, but he's got some dope
Yeah.
tracks. He has some.
I gotta take it.
He has
in.
some shit.
Send me
Didn't
the
he just come
dope
out with
ones.
a number one album or something? Like he was.
Yeah, for the week.
Number one where?
Okay,
On
Billboard, right?
Billboard, yeah.
Really?
I think he's
Big
like,
things,
was it
man.
85,000?
Something like
for the week
that.
sales?
The numbers we do now are small
Yeah.
comparison, but then you look at like.
What was that, in
digital
Canada,
outlets
though?
and-
Huh?
Was that Canada Billboard?
No, that was
No,
worldwide.
yes, yeah,
Really?
Worldwide,
No.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't hear about him having no
I didn't
number
Yeah,
one.
he had
know.
number one album for like 1 week.
G Wonder made
Wait,
sure
when did his
I
album
fucking-
come out, though?
Couple months back.
G Wonder loves
Okay,
him.
I might not have been paying attention
Yeah,
to
shout
that.
out G
I was like, I've been
Wonder.
paying attention to charts for the last few weeks, and
Yeah.
definitely
I
there
don't
was
pay
no.
attention to the charts at all.
I only do through
Charts aren't really a
outlets I
reflection
watch.
of
They're
real life,
not.
like,
I
they're
get
a
number
They're not.
reflections
And if you
every
follow
fucking
behind
week.
That, like you'll lose your mind trying
Kind
to like
of.
get on the charts and this and that. Or
Hmm?
not to say it's not a great thing to be a part of it, but if you measure yourself up to these charts,
Yeah.
it's just like when when Cardi B won the Grammy, and I was like, yo, I felt like it should have been Nipsey. And
Yeah.
you're hating, you're this, you're that, and I'm like, no, like it's when you get like. Imagine if he had won the Grammy and the way that we're seeing him now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he would have got that spotlight then.
Right,
Yep.
right,
You know
right.
what I mean? We were highlighting right now. Where's Cardi?
And Nipsey's album was
she's
fucking
chilling because she had
dope.
liposurgery problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like we could have pushed something great.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
And with that being said, it's like so. When I look at it, it's like, okay, do we measure his because he didn't win the Grammy that he wasn't
Yeah.
lit? Like that was one of the now people are taking it in and listening to the album. It's like, yo, this is lit. Like
You could look at it that way. You could look at it like that was the realest album to be nominated in the last few years.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like there's been some dope albums, and last year, and I said it on the
True.
J.
show.
Cole has some dope.
Rhapsody-
I said
Rhapsody,
last
though.
year, like
Rhapsody's
2018.
album was.
Oh, sorry. Let me. I was saying last year, 2018, like between Nipsey, between Lupe, between
Yeah.
Royce. Like last year had some fucking quality out, especially compared to this year.
Yeah.
There was top notch.
People
quality
been
albums
sleeping
that were
on dropping this year,
There's a
though.
lot of albums
Yo,
that
that
dropped
Jim
last
Jones album, though, peep it.
year. Yeah, I heard it was best.
Yo, it is.
Okay. El Chapo.
Like, yo, I'm telling you, like, it's probably his
Listen,
best
I'm
album.
waiting- the album
And
that
it's
I'm
like,
waiting
it's
for-
like, yo, it's like that Dipset shit you love.
The album
like,
that I'm waiting
Heatmakers
for
were on it. Yo.
is fucking Joyner Lucas. Everything this kid's dropping right now is just blowing
He's
my-
dope.
Even the track he did with Logic, I was just like, holy shit.
He was dope. Logic-
What he's doing.
Logic was
Yeah,
cheesy
man, what
on that
he's
shit,
doing. Man,
but
this kid right now, like he's, in my opinion, he's the black Eminem. Like he's Eminem with a little bit of hood soul. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as the patterns and the similes that he's able to
Yeah.
say.
I mean, he's
and the
angry
flows,
and
you know, it's like
aggressive
yeah, the
and
emotional
confused.
whatnot, but he's
No.
got a little bit of hood swag. I'm like,
Put it
damn.
I don't
substance
see
to
it.
or
man.
some
maybe
substance to it.
maybe Eminem post
I don't
No, I
mean
mean
like
that-
the
post
the-
relapse Eminem. Yes, he's
I
like the
joined
black
it.
post
Like,
relapse
I
He
Eminem.
raps like it,
But
he
pre-
puts
Oh, the
substance
flow.
behind his
Gotcha.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
don't
mean like
think
the
I've ever
flow,
seen
not necessarily
Never
the
even
subject
took
matter
this
or
Yeah,
whatnot,
like-
but the cadence, the flow.
But that's still
he's
like
got that hood swag.
that's still
to
like
him.
older Eminem though.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Very like I
Or
just
sorry,
don't
I mean
give a
like
fuck. No,
more
I'm talking
recently.
Like I just don't give a fuck.
No, he don't rap like that.
Kind of,
No,
man.
he raps more like Rap God Eminem.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, a little bit newer, but
That's what I'm
that kid-
saying.
kid's
He's like
talented.
post relapse Eminem, the black version. I
Wow.
could agree with that.
Yeah.
But
his
if
subject
we're
matter
gonna
is
talk
subject
about,
matter, though.
if
His
we're
subject
talking
matter is
pre,
fucking
But I think
nuts,
he's better
though.
than
I don't think
Yeah,
there is
that's what I'm
one
saying,
to
like,
come
right
out
now, in my
since
opinion, this
because
kid-
what I
this
think
kid-
Eminem is an embodiment of the greatness that
Yeah.
people like Big L, Big Pun, Cool G Rap, Master Ace, Redman.
No, I feel you.
He's the embodiment of those, and I
I
don't
feel
think
you.
anyone's done any of those artists or Eminem better since really Eminem amalgamated
No, I
them.
feel you. But I think what this kid is doing is he's actually taking like that emotion, that frustration, and he's putting it on display to say, yo, as a black rapper, like I'm making myself vulnerable, but I'm making
Right.
it dope. You know, like he's
No,
doing
he's
something
dope.
that like it's something real unique. What this kid's doing, it's like fuck, man. Like unless something happens, he's got next.
It's not about.
You know what I mean? Like
That's what
he's
I
doing
like about
something.
him is
Him
all
and,
it is.
and,
It's
that
just about the
substance,
music.
Denzel
and
Curry.
him.
There's
Yeah.
some hot about Denzel Curry right now. Like he did that Balloons album and he had that one track Clout Cobain, which was fucking phenomenally nuts. And I think, you know what I'm saying, like he's definitely on
Do you
some
know-
right now.
No, do you know with what you said about Joyner and Eminem
Yeah.
on the split side of it? Like we could give him that, but I would also say he's a more intense version of J. Cole,
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
and maybe even questionably more lyrical.
Yes. Way more lyrical. Way more
I think
lyrical.
Cole dumbs it down for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. But Cole
Yeah,
is
he's
lyrical.
saying.
You know when you've heard you know.
Yeah, but Cole's also
But-
got the production tip and the singing tip or whatever. But this kid right now, like he's
Cole's
doing
kinda
what
like
Jay
a
Electronica
classified
should have
kinda
been doing,
thing.
You know what I mean? Like I'm getting
To me,
flashes
I mean,
of Jay Electronica,
Cole
flashes of
is
M.
a different.
Yeah.
How do I explain it? He comes from a different perspective because he's
He's
not
got an
hood.
old soul.
But there's that, but he's not hood.
Yeah, he's
So-
got that country soul. You know what I mean?
No. But I mean, like, didn't he grow up in the suburbs?
He grew
so
up.
his experience is gonna be different. Than
Yeah.
that. It's not that
Yeah.
his music isn't dope, but
Yeah.
it's not some. And he's very like honest about it. It's like yo, like somebody from the hood is not necessarily gonna be able to relate to J.
Yeah.
Cole on certain aspects. So when you have like what do you get, Lucas Joyner, whatever the hell his
Joyner
name,
Lucas,
right?
yeah.
What I'm gathering is like he's like the hood version of J. Cole.
Could be. But
Well, just
I
more
think
intense. Like he's got kind of like a Tech Nine
Yeah.
current Eminem kind
Nine
of
is- yeah.
kick to him. You know, like like rapping
I
really
don't know,
fast.
where
Like
he grew up. The only common thing I see with both of them, they're biracial. And I think Joyner grew up with his mom too,
Okay.
but I'm not sure.
Is Joyner the guy who looks really really white?
No,
Nah, that's Logic.
Logic.
That's
I like
Logic.
him.
He looks black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
But you wouldn't
Logic.
know he's
Yeah.
biracial by
well,
looking
Joyner,
at it.
I'd say he looks like really light skinned.
Yeah, he's not really that light.
Joyner kind of looks like Dave East.
Oh,
okay.
Without the tattoo.
Yeah.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? He looks similar
Kinda.
to Dave East.
I
man.
don't know.
I think I'm saying they got like similar haircut, similar. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Maybe
yeah.
feature
You know what I mean?
wise,
Fade
but
and
like I
whatnot.
definitely
Yeah.
think I think Davies is darker than
Yeah, probably.
than
Yeah, a little
Joyner.
bit.
Probably.
I don't know.
It's
Joyner
similarities,
like
though,
beside
man.
Logic, like they didn't look
But
too
regardless,
far.
Regardless, I'm catching a
looks
Jay
like
Electronica
it
was a medium
meets Eminem
contrast.
vibe from this kid. You know what I mean? And like we know, like Jay Electronica had potential.
Yeah, he did.
You know
what
I
happened
mean?
to him?
Fuck.
And
As far
Logic
as I know,
white
he
as
started
hell.
dating the Rothschilds, so he was getting that money, and then I don't know what happened after that.
What the hell? Why would you go into that curse?
Man, shit. Fuck, billionaire, trillionaire family.
Kid from
I
the
don't know.
curse.
He had a kid with Erykah Badu, didn't he?
Unleash the flutes
Did he?
on
Or
him.
they were together for a while or something. I know they were dating
I
for
don't
a
think
while.
she had no
or something.
kid. She has two. The one for
Andre.
She got the one
Andre?
from Andre. She got the one
DOC.
from DOC.
yeah. I don't think she has any more.
Yeah, she got a kid from DOC.
Does
bro.
she have a
Girl.
Common kid?
No,
I don't. They were together for a minute. I
Common
think
kid.
Common's dating the lady from Jurassic Park from back in the day. At least
Common's a
last,
flirt.
Last time I saw the,
R. Kelly
the white
wrote,
lady
"I'm a
from the
flirt
first
about
Jurassic
Common."
Park.
Really?
Yeah.
Common.
Wow, Common.
Yeah. Oh, remember
I'm
Carmen
not even gonna
Electra?
hide by this appointment.
Man, I get told I look like Common at least like
Yeah.
once a fucking
Yeah.
week. You look like Common.
Nah, man.
Yo, man, on the job when I was working last month, shout out to my homegirl Nikki Chu, by the way.
skinny version
But yeah, they're
of
like, yo, you
fucking
look like Common, especially like freshly shaved head.
Wow, you know what?
Common.
Cut the beard down a bit
A little bit.
and like
bigger.
add like more of a common size
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
You definitely gotta look like
Yeah,
Common
that
a
could be his
little
body
bit,
double, you know? Put
like
on
a
some-
little bit.
I'll put on some shoes with some, you know.
But he's always
glasses, some-
smooth as a baby's ass, like everywhere.
Get some
He
freckles.
might have a little goatee, but he's like it's like
It's
baby
like
ass
a
smooth.
baby's ass.
Yeah,
Yeah, Maloney's wild with it.
he stays
no
a well
pause.
shaved.
Yeah. Nah, what else?
That was gonna go left for a second, but
Yeah, let's segue this shit on to something else, man. What else is popping?
ladies,
What
you
else
want a
crazy?
clean ass to lick? Holla at Common.
Oh God!
Wow.
Wow!
You're just slandering motherfuckers right now, eh?
Coming
Like,
from-
Wow!
It's probably
I need to do more
Brazilian
homework.
waxed on the daily.
Oh my.
Oh man, that's what Common's doing.
yeah. Yo, they just had the Roots.
He used to
Roots
love her
last
till the
week,
wax
20th
came.
anniversary of the wasn't it things
Raining
was
hot in
it
this
things
place.
fall apart album?
Yo, I love
album.
Common, by the way.
Yo, Common's dope.
Common's mad dope.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It's like mad dope.
He went through a few transitions.
Yeah, I think
know?
he's still going.
Yeah,
through
but
them,
you know
clearly.
what?
I like the first shot, man.
First Common,
Common
Can I-
Sense.
Yeah, I like the first Common, the Common that had a song.
Can I
with the
borrow
Lord
a
Hill.
dollar?
I'm okay with
That
that
was
one.
the second album. That was the second
Was
album.
the second album? I like that Common.
Can I borrow a
yeah.
dollar? Is
Can I borrow a
fire.
dollar?
New Common is
Yeah.
And then what's is Resurrection?
Yeah, that was
Oh
pretty
my
dope.
Bitchin' Me was
god.
dope. Used to love her. That's you know see that.
I used to love her, bro.
That'll go down as one of his.
No, that's one of the
biggest
greatest
tracks.
hip hop songs of all time.
Oh, story-wise,
You know what?
fuck
It's
yeah.
one of the
Top 20.
most underrated songs in terms of notoriety.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, y'all.
Nah,
And you
nobody-
don't
nobody's
stop.
hitting me up saying, "Yo, can you play that record?"
Right, right.
Because they don't know it on a
I
commercial
met
level.
this
Right,
girl when I
true.
was 12 years old.
Yeah.
And what I love most, she had so much
She
soul.
re-released that.
Yeah.
When I was hot, school,
20th
she was just
anniversary or
a
whatever.
short.
Yeah.
Version.
Never knew throughout my
Exactly,
life she
yeah.
would be
What
there
about,
for me
back
on
in
the
day,
regular.
Was it Rashad or whatever back in the day? Back in the day when I was
yeah.
young, I'm not a
Kid anymore, but
someday
sometimes-
I
That was a big
see-
tune, too.
I was a
Yeah.
kid again. Yo,
And
that shit's
everybody
fire.
said, I remember way back when.
That song's fire. That's
There's
a big
so many
tune.
tunes that came out from that era, like that are crazy. You go
Bro.
back and listen to Far Side, you know what I'm saying, like that Lab Cabin California album,
Bro.
Labyrinth album. That
No,
shit
the
was
first
dope.
album, Bizarre Ride, though?
Yeah, Bizarre Rap.
Oh
man.
my god.
There's so much
Oh
stuff in that
shit. The last verse, he fucked the tranny.
era. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh shit.
What?
Yo, that album's wild.
Black Sheep.
People don't give that album props, man.
That was crazy.
Bizarre Ride is nuts.
Because they weren't really like gangsters or anything, you know.
No,
Like,
they
them
were
and the
just cool. They
Alcoholics
were
don't get-
themselves.
Don't get the West Coast love that they deserve. Because Alcoholics put out some great fucking music
Yeah,
too.
Alcoholics,
And
super
from them
dope.
we got Exhibit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so shout out.
People
to
don't give
Sure.
Exhibit the props he deserves either.
Yo, he killed fucking
Exhibit's
Chronic
sick.
2001.
Exhibit's sick.
Hell
My
yeah.
brother goes through for his exhibit.
Oh man, all right. Yo, you're not sick no more. No, I'm just playing. Shout outs to Exhibit.
There's the X to the Z, the licks and
Why
King
can't we get
T.
these guys to get air conditioning in here?
Yeah, yo, it's
Word.
hot. And
That's
this
not happening.
I don't even
cider is
remember.
not
We
helping.
might have to bring
A
it in
little bit of
ourselves.
and a little bit of.
Right?
We have to bring in fans. For
I don't even
some-
remember
Everybody
it being
get
this
your
hot,
Ellen dance
even
on.
from last year.
This mad. The window doesn't open.
Yo.
I feel like if I open it, it's gonna pick up mad noise in the fucking.
All right, we're gonna play a game right now called Name the Song.
All right,
I
let's do it.
fuck these hoes after our shows. Big
Oh,
dicks.
man, that
We
sounds like
slang.
Some Nate Dogg.
Big timers.
What's the song?
Everybody, Ricket, get your roll on.
Everybody get your roll on.
I don't know why the fuck I know that, bro, but yeah.
Believe
Oh,
that.
that was Manny Fresh, right?
These pockets gonna stay fat.
Oh God.
That's Mystical.
No, but
Oh
close.
God, Mystical. Where's he at?
He just got out of prison.
Yeah, didn't he just get a deal or so? Another
He just
one?
got out. He went in again
I
for
know,
sexual
but
assault
yeah,
or rape or
a
something
lot
like
of people
that.
don't learn.
That's the second or third time.
Like after the second time,
foul.
you're guilty in my eyes.
That's foul.
You're doing
man.
something to make yourself be in those situations.
Well,
like,
you know what happened the first time, or you heard what happened the first time, right?
wasn't it like they ran a train on the
No,
lady
his
or some
hair
shit?
braider or something was extorting him. So yeah, him and his boys or whatever like forced her to run a train.
Right.
Whoa.
And that's the thing. It's like even that. Like the other day, I seen this guy make a post, and it's like it pieced together different little things where it said it was like Yogi Bear and a battery and whatever, and it said basically don't hype because mans used to run batteries on you or trains or whatever. And I'm just like, in the time as a kid, you feel cool, but as an adult now, I'm gonna ask you guys. I don't know if you guys ever ran train. Don't you feel gay? Like,
Nah, I ain't trying.
I never ran train.
I ain't trying to be in the same room with like.
that's what I'm saying. So I'm like,
in
when
that
a bunch of
situation, I've
dicks
never
just
felt
out
that
there
shit.
like that, I'm like, yo, I don't understand. 90% of the girls are not willingly doing this. It's rape.
Yeah.
Let's just be realistic with how we're looking at it. But it's like, as a man, I'm like, there's certain things that I wouldn't even want people to know that I did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you hear that as an adult that's what he did, it's like you deserve to go to jail. Like,
Yo,
there's
and I'm
no
a
ifs,
wild
ands, or buts about that.
motherfucker,
Thank
and
you.
I ain't about doing that.
The train stuff is just like, to me, that's like, 15, 16 or some shit. But like as a grown ass man,
Yeah.
like I don't want to be, even as a woman, I don't really like when people are like, oh, threesome.
Even
I don't want to
then,
be in a
though.
room with another girl. Like
Yeah.
I
Even
think that
then.
I have enough to sustain whatever person is there with me.
When I was
Yeah.
15, 16, I was so insecure about how good I was at sex. I wasn't fucking
you don't
around
exactly.
nobody.
I don't want you to see what I'm capable
Hell no.
of. Like I don't understand that. So
Get
I'm
the
just like,
fuck
okay,
out of
yeah.
here. You ain't catching McBus
Yeah.
2-second boy in the building. You know what I'm saying?
No, I never
had to live up to the
understood that
GT
shit.
killer name.
I never understood that shit personally. Like, I'm not trying to see another dude's like orgasm face. I don't want that shit to haunt me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Why are you even looking?
like,
Yeah, whoa, that's pause
Nah, 'cause
right
you might
there.
have- So like in the action, you look up, you're like, oh man, like dude, your
So
video
hold on,
spoon
hold on.
face, I
What
don't
if he
wanna see
like
that
makes
shit.
really abrupt noises like
That's what I'm saying.
Worse. Oh my god.
I don't want to be.
Like,
What if he's really
do you look at your
aggressive with
friend
his
the same
cum
afterwards?
screams?
Like,
So I didn't want to say this shit, but okay. So say you guys are just taking turns, and the person does their thing
Yeah.
while you're waiting.
that's
And then
different.
Your time going now. You're next man going. I didn't do it. I'm just saying.
Life,
I know
you
certain
did
men
it.
do that the same
That's a
way.
different scenario.
That's
I'm not
different.
That's all right.
That's
saying
different.
scenario.
But I
That's
just
some
think like
freaky
there was like
shit.
this
As long as you
video
know all
that
your
they did
mans
on
are good
live.
too.
Like there was a video that they did on live where like there was this girl in Chicago because this is prevalent in Chicago and
Yeah,
it's like they must
yeah.
have like raped this little girl on live. It was like a
Wow.
gang initiation or whatever the case may
That's
be.
fucked up.
And at first of all, I'm like, why are you live?
Yeah.
Second of all, and I'm just like, okay, how do you like? Because I'm reading the comments, people, this girl's a hoe. I'm like, she's being raped.
Yeah.
Like, where do we as people like
Why film that though? Like the only clout you're getting from a rape is a bullet to the fucking head.
that
Like,
and jail charges? Like, I'm not understanding.
yeah.
Even the guy that like shot somebody with a shotgun on live. Like, I don't understand this whole live concept. It's like
Nah,
you
it's
do.
wild. People just want notoriety.
Thank
know what I
you.
mean? Like, they just,
I'd rather do it on Instagram where it
Infamy.
fades after 24 hours.
right?
What you do that on
Someone
Facebook is
see
there
that
forever.
shit and
Like-
put it on the news. You know what I mean? But nah, the closest thing I ever got to like that is like
Yeah,
when you're,
let's
like,
go
grading
Raptors.
And you're at like a party and you're like making out with your girlfriend and like your friends over there making out with their girlfriend or their boyfriend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like as a room of boys and girls like
Right.
all making out together. Or you
Right.
played Kiss the Bottle and
Right.
you snuck off in the closet. With
Kiss the
Exactly.
bottle?
The whole,
Oh, you gotta
like,
pause after that, bro.
or what
You
is spin
kissed the bottle.
whatever fuck,
Spin
spin
the
the
bottle.
Kiss the
Yeah.
bottle.
I know
Kiss
what
the
you meant.
bottle.
I got it. But you know what I'm saying? Like the whole, no, I'm not into like the group sex thing. Like,
I don't
that's
understand
crazy.
that. Like,
Especially when
unless
it's
we're
like
going to,
multiple
a swingers
guys on
club or
one
some
girl.
shit,
It's like,
let's get together. So when I heard the thing, when Misko went
So
back,
no bukkake.
I was like, how do you
No.
go back for the same fucking charges?
yeah,
Like,
right.
But apparently he got like some great like $1 million contract or something
Yo.
like that, like where he's like he came out and he
Oh yeah,
said.
of course.
But I don't know how he's like. I wouldn't listen to his shit.
Yeah.
Yo, can we
I
take
can't condone that.
can we take a moment out
I just want to pee.
to
How much? What time we got here?
No, I want to take a moment. Oh, whoa, this is spilling. I want to take a moment out to represent the Irish heritage that my last name wished that I had.
Why turn this off?
So while we
You got
pour a
Gucci
drink,
Man calling you. Literally says Gucci.
we're gonna sing something very Irish.
All right.
All right, are you guys with me?
Was it shipping off to Boston?
Yes.
Shipping
You're already
off to
familiar.
Boston.
Well, we're gonna start in the
Whoa.
verse.
Get fucking kicked off YouTube for
So.
copyright infringement for that shit.
I'm a sailor in pain and I have
Are you
no
seriously
leg.
singing this song right now?
Climbing to the top sail,
You're a
I've
real
lost
Irish
my
person, you sing it
leg.
Before you're drinking.
I can't believe you actually singing the song that I thought you were gonna sing.
I'm a sailor in pain, and I've lost my leg. Climbing up the top sails, I've lost my leg. I'm shipping up to Boston. Hey!
Yeah.
Shout out to fucking.
So
Everything
everyone,
he said.
cheers
Wow.
to
And
that.
then
Love that
some.
song. Shout out to the fucking Dropkick
Can we get a
Murphys,
cheers
man.
to that? No
I got
one cheers
hold
me to
on,
that?
Yeah, man.
I like
You
that
guys
song,
being
bro.
low-key Irish racist.
My bad.
I need a
Alright.
cup. Fuck. Any cups in here? Yeah,
Shout
maybe
out
some
to
of
all
those
my-
like shot cups or something.
Alright.
I'll take like some of the growers out of this.
Shout out to all my sailors in pain, by the way.
Where's that growers at?
So that's
Little
Have you ever
sips.
read Angela's Ashes?
Say what?
Angela's Ashes?
No, I have not.
It's about the depression. That's the first time I really started like taking into like the Irish culture and being basically I'm like it's very similar what the Irish went through and the black people.
Yeah.
Very similar. Angela's Ashes.
It is to a degree, but I don't like comparing it.
It's not like I mean obviously there's 400 years of oppression.
Yeah.
So you can't ever but just knowing like when I hear Irish people like, yo, we were slaves too, like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, get the fuck out of
Right.
here.
But
Exactly.
when I actually read it, I'm like, I get where it's like, you don't ever want to diminish somebody's struggle. Because if somebody actually went through the depression, it's different if you weren't one of those people.
It is
But
still a
somebody who
struggle.
actually went through it, it's fucked.
And they got terrorized on their own line.
Yeah. Like the
Yeah.
whole, like, you know, like, even like me, like, understanding the Protestant exchange, like if you got the soup and you were a sellout and all that stuff or whatever. I'm like, this is real.
Yeah.
Like,
And then up till today.
Communion right
yeah.
Up
It's
to today,
real,
it's
like-
And you know when Frederick Douglass was on the run as a slave, they would actually pay, the Irish would pay for Frederick Douglass to come over
Right.
and give speeches
Right.
on like abolition and shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Put money
Yep.
in his pocket, and I think
Yep.
they kind of helped to actually pay for his eventual
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah.
So
Yo, shout outs to the cool
were
white
kidding,
people
man.
in history.
there's a lot of
Shout out to the indentured servants.
yeah, there's a lot of cool white
went
motherfuckers in
to-
history,
I met
man.
this-
Yeah, but there's
The other
mad
day.
more lame white people in history, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like saying white.
Yeah,
this-
it's like,
this
like,
one
what's white?
whiteness.
This
Exactly.
one
Yeah.
Irish dude told me that
Exactly.
his people got inspired to revolt because of what's happening with the civil rights movement.
Well, that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
black people are always the first, like in terms of minorities.
Yeah.
People follow like what? Okay, if black people are doing the civil rights, then you'll have the natives that are act out, and the Chinese, and the this and the that. They kind of like wait to see the blueprint of how
Yeah.
they're gonna do it, and
Yeah.
then get their foot in the door as well too. So with that, it's like for me, I personally think we were a lot more as black people, especially in the Americas, we were more successful following slavery. There was
Yeah.
a lot more black doctors, lawyers,
Yeah.
Black
stuff
Wall
like that.
Street.
Black Wall Street, everything. Now it's like
There was a conjoined effort to destroy black power.
absolutely. Absolutely.
No, there
Absolutely.
was,
Of
though.
course, they burned it down,
They
literally.
burned it down, literally.
Literally.
And
Was
then
it-
since
yeah.
then, there's been a rewrite in history
It was
where
economic. more
things
so than
have
anything
become
that
more
fucked
fair.
us.
But I actually agree with
Yeah.
it.
No, for real.
Things
Yeah.
like they were building an empire there.
Yeah.
Okay, can't have that. Then
Just
you
the way
fast
say it,
forward.
like you just go right to the.
Yeah,
you
but-
know, say, like, just the way you
Cut
say
to
it.
the
Fast
chase.
forward
Yeah.
20, 30
Yeah.
years, Black Panthers, these organizations
Yeah.
and groups during the civil rights movement. Fuck all the fucking white
Yeah.
stupid hippies going, no, Vietnam and fighting,
Right.
bro. Like there was real
what I
civil
wanna ask-
rights activism happening
I
at the
wanna
time.
ask- what
And
I
the
wanna
FBI infiltrated and destroyed all of this.
Absolutely.
Well, let me ask a question. 'cause
It's
this-
never
this is
been
how
a
I
fair
feel.
fight.
This is how I feel. Like, I mean, personally, I feel like it is. But do you feel like hip hop is merely an extension of the civil rights movement? Like it's a branch of it? Because I feel like it
Yeah.
absolutely
I think that it
is.
was until we started selling ourselves short. I think we forgot the purpose behind hip hop. At the end of the day, this hip hop is about the struggle and the story. And Biggie said it best, where once he got to a certain point, he's like, "What do I rap about anymore?" Because
I'm not in that,
that
position.
music is about the struggle. So once you're no longer struggling, you become a pop artist.
Do you know what's
what I
funny
mean?
that
Like,
you say that?
like-
A lot of people look at Life After Death as Biggie's pinnacle. Like that's like one of the greatest albums ever. Amazing. Biggie stepped up his game, and I always looked at it vice versa.
No.
I thought the first album, that is a
Yep.
classic,
Yep.
stone cold certified
Yep.
classic. Represents everything well rounded as a human being, the day to day struggle, everything.
And when you're hungry.
when you're feeling like
Yep.
you're the shit, all the way down to when
Exactly.
you're like I'm a piece of fucking shit. It
Yep.
ain't hard to tell.
Exactly.
Like that album represents what being a human being is, and it the day to day life, like
Yeah.
perfect. Life After Death's a cool album. It's a more poppy
Right.
album. I could
It
dance
was
to
club
it and
tunes.
shit
It
more.
was bangers and stuff
exactly,
like that. Like, that's
but
what it was. It was club bangers. It was commercial hits and stuff like that. But in terms of the real
But within the
aspect,
civil rights movement, there was still the party, though, and this is what people forget about hip hop. I've always said that hip hop is two-sided coin.
Right.
You know, you have to have the rhythm, you have to have the people who are going to come to the party,
Right.
and you have to have the message, the people to hear the message after they leave the party. But
Right.
if you're not going to party, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to hear the message.
but I don't
And
think
when
hip
your
hop
life
was
is
about the
bad,
party though.
oh, it's always been
was.
about
I
the
think-
party.
I think
right? It's
I
always
don't
been about the
think,
beat.
It's
like,
always been
about
about the party.
the break beats and the dancing.
I
and
think boogie
cutting.
and disco and there's variations of it, but like to actually rap, it's like spoken word. Spoken word.
Rap's just
Agreed.
an element though. Rap's just an element of hip hop.
Right.
No.
So let me
And agreed.
break it out. Like for me,
The break
it's like,
beats come
when I
first.
think of the rapping,
Exactly.
like it's okay. When they first started talking about, oh, I'm struggling on the block and da, they weren't saying that so we can make you shake your booty
Yeah, of
in the
course
club.
not.
Melly Mel the
Like, that's-
message.
but
That
telling
came
your
after, though.
story.
That came after,
right.
though, you
So
know
that's
what
what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying?
It's
Yeah.
like right now, it's kind of like tropical
Melly
house.
Mel the message is the start of that. That's the start of
But-
conscious
Far
hip
and
hop.
large, that's
But
the
the
start.
thing
yeah.
For
is-
me, it's kind of like it's if we go back to the foundation and the fundamental, we could remix it all we want.
Yeah.
But then there's what it is. Like, you know, it's just like tropical house.
Yeah.
Yeah, tropical house is not dancehall.
Right,
It's a genre in itself.
But then I
when you
still
listen
hear-
to dancehall
yeah.
music,
Yeah.
what dancehall was actually
Yeah.
about. Anything that comes after that is a subdivision or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right,
But
yeah.
we as people, we've combined it, all these different genres. It's like that dude with the fucking Old Town Road, whatever the hell
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
The country shit.
Hey.
But
I understand why country
Yeah.
people are offended because country is one of the only genres that has been pure for so long.
Right,
Nah.
right, right,
Everything-
right.
Yeah,
but I
man.
mean,
everything
look
is like a blendation
Yeah.
now. You got pop, rock,
But
pop.
the thing
this,
is,
Country
though,
been a
Look at
blend
who
though.
even who we were talking about
Of
earlier
what?
though. We look at
Yeah.
Nipsey.
Maybe pop,
We
that's
look at
about
like
it.
Been a pop
we look
blend.
at
That's
Kendrick.
about it,
We look
yeah.
at Nipsey. We look at Kendrick. We look
Yeah.
at J. Cole. We look at Lucas Joyner. Like this is
Lucas
they're still,
Joyner.
they're still, you know what I'm saying, representing the hood. So even though someone like a Biggie might have changed, like
You
it's
could
still that
represent the hood.
extension,
It's like,
you know what I
okay,
mean?
again, so I'll go back to, what's his name?
It became
Lil
our
X, whatever the hell
economics.
his name is?
No, but it became our economics. It became the way that
Right.
even if you're not a rapper, you could become a marketing executive.
But that's
You
not
could become-
rap. That's my point.
No, but hip hop is bigger than rap, though. You know what
But
I
it's
mean?
not.
Yes,
That's
it
my,
is.
hold on.
It
What I'm
is.
saying is, it's like,
I think it encompassed.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is in terms of black or white, it's like, this is a black shirt.
Yeah.
It's not gray. It's
Right,
not
right, right,
off-colored
right.
black.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Right.
black.
It's black.
You know what I mean? There's white writing on it, but
Yeah,
essentially
it's
black.
the root of it is a black shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing like with music, where yeah, we can have all these different divisions. You can become a mogul in this or that or whatever, but that's not what rap was about. Rap
Yeah.
wasn't about getting your own perfume line and your own
Nope.
cigarette company or your own liquor label or this.
Yeah.
or
Rap
that.
kind of always was.
But you know
Hip-hop,
what?
not so much.
No, you know what though?
Commercial rap.
This leads a
absolutely.
question for
But
me
that's the
though.
thing. It's like, but I'm not talking about
Which
what
is
it
the other side of the
developed
coin.
into. When people first were sitting there
They
on
were-
the
they-
block
yeah.
and rapping, it wasn't about the
Now,
commercial
Alicia.
aspect.
Yeah.
It wasn't
was.
about the
It was
block
about
or
As
the-
much-
It
Yeah.
was telling your story.
If you think about the first track, you know what I'm saying? Rapper's Delight. They were bragging about shit.
They were
won,
stealing
right?
rhymes from fucking Grandmaster
But they were
Caz,
still
bro.
bragging about stuff they won. If you think
Yeah.
about the first battles, the
Right.
first battles weren't about dissing each
Hey,
other.
Busy
They were
B,
about,
I don't mean to be
I got
bold, but
illest
put the
beat
bar
vibes,
with the
Right.
bar
I got
bullshit on
rap
hold.
beats. It wasn't about, yo,
Right.
I did this, I come through your block and kill your
Right.
whole mom. It wasn't
No,
about that.
Cool Mo
Well, that's
D changed
gangster
that.
rap.
Cool
That's the
Mo
thing,
D
it's
changed
a
that.
different. Every like rap is not just black and white. There's gangster rap.
Yeah.
There's
The only-
there's Will Smith rap.
Which even
there's
gangs,
different.
which even gangs come out of Black Panthers,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying, like the downfall of those. So it's all interconnected
Right.
in my personal opinion. But I
I'm
do
just
think
saying
it's
that
hard
you
now.
guys are missing one point. Hip hop,
What's that?
when it comes to musically, hip hop encompasses almost every genre of music on the
It
planet.
absolutely does.
Yep.
now.
It's not.
Today's
No,
day
not
and age.
now. It's
Always has.
Yeah.
Sure.
the biggest hip hop record. one
Hip
of
hop
the-
started as not even
Yeah.
being its own genre. It
Yeah.
started off as literally
think
spinning
about it.
breaks
Like-
of records that were other genres.
Yeah, so
It is
I mean,
built
like-
on a
Yeah.
foundation that is not its
Yeah.
own thing.
Of course,
Like Africa
but no
Wild
music
Brothers
is. I mean,
joint.
like we
No,
would have
exactly.
to go all the way back to the drumming plains of Africa. Then you got like jazz, ragtime, hip hop,
Rock,
blues,
everything.
Hip-hop,
country,
what I'm saying is
rock and
hip-hop-
roll,
Everything contemporary.
Well, no, but I'm saying hip hop does not have a sound.
No,
I feel
you
you.
it's
guys
never
can-
had a sound.
Yeah.
Africa Bambaataa doing fucking looking for the perfect beat
Yeah.
in Planet Rock
Yeah,
in
got that
what
from
79.
Kraftwerk. Got that from
That
Kraftwerk.
shit sounds
That sounds-
more ahead of
yeah.
its time now
Today than it did-
than most
yeah.
rappers do.
You listen
But
to
the
that
thing is,
now and
with
you're like, what is
hip-hop-
Hip hop has never
Hip-hop,
had a
it's
solid
like people try to
form.
separate
Yeah.
hip hop and rap. In order to have a hip hop track, you have to rap.
No, no,
Yes.
no.
No.
Yes.
DJ Shadow got whole albums with nobody rapping on me. You could tell those are straight up like hip hop
But-
albums.
Tell me
What
why.
is on it though? What is it? Instrumentals?
Yeah, instrumentals,
Okay,
cuts,
that's different.
breaks. you
My
know what I'm
point
saying?
is, it's like I cannot sing and call it hip hop. I can't
Yeah,
do
that's
dance
true.
hall
That's
and-
true. That's
I
true.
can't call
That's
it hip hop.
true.
I can't do country
But-
and call it hip hop. You have to rap
But
on it.
this
The
is why.
rapping
This is.
element
But this is the
what
thing,
makes
right?
it
Hold on.
hip-hop.
But this is the thing. Was
Yeah.
it Mary J. Blige was dubbed as the what? The queen of what?
Hip hop and soul.
All right.
Soul.
She never rapped.
Soul though.
I know.
She did rap.
She barely
Her
rap.
persona,
Barely
her
rap.
alter persona was called Brooklyn.
But she barely
did-
raps.
But it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm trying to
the
say, like-
hip hop beats, but it's also she
Yeah.
had rap, but she also had rappers
Yeah, of
that
course.
featured on
Of course,
it.
but not on
So
every
then
record.
Yeah.
Not on every record, but that's why she was listed
Right.
as hip hop.
But she was
her
never.
beats-
But she was
but what
never
I'm saying is,
listed
right,
as
but
a
what I'm
rap
saying,
artist.
now
though.
break it down.
No,
Break it
but
down
what
like
I'm
this.
saying is they never
Hold on,
called her-
break it
hold
down
on.
though.
But they never called her the queen of
Even
hip
though
hop,
she
though.
technically
Listen what I'm saying.
is, because she
But
rapped
hold
on
hold
rap
a second.
beats.
Yeah.
But no,
Or sang
no,
on rap beats.
The rap beats or the hip hop beats are not rap or hip hop.
Of course they are. It's just
Yeah,
like,
they are.
Of course they
Real
are.
love?
Of
Yo,
course
tell
they
me
are.
Big Daddy Kane wouldn't have
Yeah.
crushed
Where
Real
did the
Love.
samples come from?
Audio 2
John-
top
John-
billing is
B.
the drum line.
It's just like
and the
drum line,
piano.
But there's other parts outside of that. Where does that drum line come from?
Right,
Where does that
but-
drum
but-
line
Honey
come
but
from?
Drippers
hip-hop
and
is a
Pizza President.
subdivision of
And
all
what kind of
these
what's the genre of
other-
that music?
Funk.
Exactly.
Right.
Do you
But
see what
hip-
I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, but that's like saying tropical house is not really a genre because it's
No,
a
it's not the
combination-
same. It's not the same
No.
as that.
Yes, it is. Hold on.
Majority of that so-called hip hop beats that everyone call hip hop beats
But that's the
are
same-
not hip hop beats.
Alright.
No, they're
They've
they're
never been
they're
hip-hop.
loops on top of other
They've never
genres of
been
music.
hip-hop.
You just said hip hop doesn't have a sound.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It
But
doesn't.
then hold on.
It could
that-
be anything.
But hold on, that's my point.
It's
It's
true.
like tropical house. Tropical house
Anything.
has elements of
What's the-
dancehall and pop and all this other stuff. When it's all said and done, it still has its own.
It's not comparable.
Genre.
You know why it's
It
not
is,
comparable?
because hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me finish. Hold on, hold on,
Hip-hop
hold on.
takes
Let me finish.
from
Hold on. Let me finish.
multiple
Let me finish.
genres of music.
But so does tropical house.
No, what? Pop and
Pop,
freaking dancehall. That's it.
R&B, reggae, soul.
All
There's
those,
a little bit of everything.
A lot of that, a little bit of everything is
No.
literally the same shit.
But that's hip hop though.
Not
And
really.
no
Jazz
genre-
is not the same as disco. It's not the same as fucking
Jazz is
funk.
not
I
the
grab
same
that
as disco,
bottle?
but jazz is similar to ragtime. Jazz
Yeah.
is similar to soul.
Of course.
Jazz is similar to
Of
blues.
course, of
There's
course.
never
Yeah.
gonna. Huh? There's never gonna.
But that's
be,
what I'm saying. There's no such thing as hip hop beats. That's
Yeah.
all I'm trying to tell you. There's no such thing as hip
I
hop beats.
won't agree with that because hip hop
feel
is
like I opened up Pandora's
hip hop
box with
is,
that question.
is a combination of those different genres. It's just like tropical. Hold on. Let me finish.
There's no
Wait.
such thing as
You
hip-hop
keep interrupting. Let me
beats.
finish. Just like tropical house. There's no such thing as tropical house. Tropical house is it's like what
You
you're
can't
saying-
compare
Of course,
that
I can.
to tropical
Hold on.
house.
Let me finish.
At
hear-
all.
If you let me finish, you'll hear
Okay.
the comparison.
Alright, okay.
It's
Tell
like
me.
saying a biracial
It's a comparison,
person.
but it's not
Hold on, you're
comparison.
not finishing. It's
Go
like
ahead.
saying a biracial person is not a human being because they're not all black and they're not all white.
That doesn't
That's
make
the same thing.
no
Of course
sense.
it does. Hold
You don't
on.
understand what I'm saying?
Let me. I hear what you're
Okay,
saying,
go
but
ahead,
you're
go
not
ahead.
finished. Let
I
me
have
finish
been
what
told
I'm
that I'm
saying.
not a human being
Right.
before.
No, but my point is, hip hop is birthed from a bunch of different genres.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
like the color pink.
But hip hop's not a
Hold on.
genre.
Yes, it is.
It's a culture.
Hold on.
It
No,
is a
it's not.
culture. Rap is the music.
What do you
Rap,
mean?
rap is
Graffiti,
the music.
graffiti is music?
Rap is the
Graffiti is music?
No.
Breakdancing is music?
Hip hop
Well,
is culture.
What?
only hip hop people do graffiti. You got
No.
rock kids that do that. You got
They-
Japanese
what kind of
kids that do
what
that.
kind of graffiti are they doing?
But
Whatever.
it doesn't matter what kind of
No.
graffiti
If I
you
wanna
do,
go
that's
and
hip
spray-
All
hop.
If
graffiti
I
is
wanna
not
go-
hip hop.
Exactly.
I can go put up a
That's my
sticker
point.
right
Can
now.
I-
Is that
can I-
hip-hop?
Can I finish?
That's vandalism.
Can I
No,
finish
it's
my
still graffiti.
sentence so that it makes sense,
still
so we can
graffiti.
stop
All right, let her
interrupting
finish,
what it
let
is
her
that I
finish.
have to say? What I'm saying
Let her
is,
finish.
hip hop came about in the '90s. Nothing
Hip-hop did
that
not come in the
80s,
90s.
whatever the hell you want to call it.
70s.
Was it around in the 1650s?
Was
No.
it? No.
Right. So
But
my
did it
point
come
is,
in the
hip hop
90s?
can nothing that we do into this day and age can be pure. It's impossible.
Hip-hop was never pure, though.
But I'm not.
No
that's what
idea
I'm
is
saying.
original.
Not exactly.
But
That's
I'm
my
saying,
point.
hip-hop is not
Hold
a
on,
genre
Mike,
of music.
just
That's all I'm trying to show you.
listen,
There's
just
only,
listen.
what,
There was
12
guys
chords
rapping
of music
before
you can
hip-hop.
play?
I'm
got
saying
rapping before hip-hop.
it's not a genre of music.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes,
No,
it
hip-hop's
is.
a lifestyle.
Yes, hip hop can be a lifestyle, just like
It's not a
dancehall.
genre
Being
of
in the
music.
dancehall
It's a
community.
culture.
Remember,
hold on. Being
it's not
in the,
a genre
hold
of
on. Being in the
music.
dancehall community is a lifestyle, but it's
not
also a genre of
hip-hop
music
is
as well
not
too.
a genre of music.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Says who? You?
Says me?
Yeah.
Go look for yourself. You'll
What?
see.
Wikipedia can't define that
No,
for
I'm not
me.
saying Wikipedia. It's not a genre of music.
I would
Says
say
who, though?
widely spread. Like, I'm such a fucking
There's
hip
not
hop
even
nerd.
one sound in
Like,
hip-hop.
I've
But
read.
there's not one sound in.
No,
in
'cause
R&B
hip-hop is
soul,
the
or
culture.
There's not one sound in pop.
The
There's
hip hop
not one sound.
terminology
Pop is
comes
not a genre of
from
music
the
either.
party
Yes,
rocker,
it is.
No, it isn't.
whoever he
Yes,
was.
it
It is popular music.
Right.
Anything that's
but
popular,
it's a genre.
anything that's popular,
No, it's not.
is not a genre.
Popular music is like the watered
not
down
a genre
version
of
of
music.
anything that was
It is
real.
not a-
if I have
it's
to
not
be,
a
if
genre
I
of
have to
music.
blunt it,
It's not a
Facts.
genre of
make it
music.
one.
That's facts.
If you
Pop
guys
is not
Blink
a
one.
genre
Yo,
music.
Yes,
hold on.
it is.
No,
Blink
Yes, it
182.
It's
Yes.
not a genre
Blink
Yes, it is.
182
Yes, it is.
are the punk music what the new kids were to hip hop.
Right.
I said this before. I know that.
Right.
I said that on a
There's
popular
a
music
facts.
is popular
Popular
music.
music
It
is
does
like
not
pop
matter.
is the Spice Girls. The Spice Girls are not R&B singers. They are not hip hop singers. They are not reggae singers.
they're
They are
pop.
not.
Genre.
They are pop. That is a genre.
It's not a genre.
Why is it not a genre? Because you say so?
No, because popular music is popular music. It could be an Indian song, for goddamn it.
No.
If it becomes popular.
That's a popular Bollywood song. Then.
Okay.
That's a popular
Gangnam Style.
So what
Punjabi
is the
song.
what is
Gangnam
the
Style's
what is
popular.
Popular music has its own category.
What's the uniform sound of popular music?
The uniform sound of popular music is anything that is country when it's not in its
Country's not popular.
I've
popular
never
music.
finished
No,
my
isn't there a
sentence.
four-chord stream that most pop
I never
songs
finished
ride in?
my sentence. The cider's getting to you guys.
Nah.
What I'm saying to you guys is there's pop country, there's pop R&B, there's tropical house. Pop is anything that is watered down from its original
But doesn't mean it's a
form.
genre of music.
It is a genre of
It's
music.
not a genre of music.
How?
I can water down anything. Doesn't
How
mean
could you
it's
not
a
say it's a genre of music
It's
when
not
the
a
Grammys
genre.
will nominate
No,
you
you
for
know
that?
what, though?
Because
What
there-
makes you
No.
determine a genre of music?
No, you know what? I get your
Because-
point.
This is what I'm going to say.
Because it's a shitty version of the genre of music.
Yeah, it's
trying
still
to
that
be.
genre.
But then
music.
it created its
It's
own.
still there.
It created its own
hold on.
genre,
That's like
but
saying, hold on.
no,
That's
he's kind
hold
of
on.
right.
That's like saying
Right.
pink is not a color because it's not white and it's not red. It's its own
No, it's not
color.
the same thing.
It's its own color. That pop
No,
created
she
its
kinda-
own
if
culture.
she kinda has
If
a
we can-
point,
own
too.
genre
Hold on.
of music.
If we can define
no music
rock
right now
music,
is
if we can
completely
define
pure.
country,
Can't
Rock is
define
not
rock.
define
pure.
jazz,
Hip-hop
if
is
we
not
can
pure.
define
Anything
The
certain-
thing is, you can't
Anything
define
can
any of them
become pop
because Miles
music.
Davis is known as what, like acid jazz, and then you have different jazz musicians who are more
Right.
traditional. Then
Right.
you have dudes like Roy
Right.
Just because,
Ayers
hold on,
who are all
Just
over the
because
spectrum.
you put acid in front of jazz doesn't change the fact it's jazz.
But what I'm saying,
That's what I'm
is
trying to
there's
show you.
implications
There's no
and
point in even
breakdowns
calling
to
it
it, though.
jazz or acid jazz to change the genre.
But why not,
Is it
though?
jazz or is it not
Anything
jazz?
can become
But it can't
pop
be.
music.
Why not?
Why? If there's 50 different shades of red, right?
Yeah.
There's
They're
fire
still their
engine
own
red,
shades.
But it's still
there-
red?
Hold on, no, hold on.
Red,
There's
still
fi-
red?
You're both right.
So you're contradicting yourself right now.
But
You're
I'm saying-
contradicting
No, I'm
yourself.
not.
No.
You just,
No, I'm not.
yes, you
No,
are.
No,
Yes, you are.
the thing is,
You just said,
No,
why did they
hold on.
put acid
No,
in
but
front of
listen,
jazz?
yeah.
Why did they put fire engine in
Hold on,
front
hold
of
on.
red?
no,
Why did they
it's
put
because we're
burnt
looking
orange
at the
in
listen to
front of
complex
whatever?
side.
What I'm saying.
He's looking at the just direct
Alright,
side.
But listen,
Right.
I'm saying now. This is what I'm
Anything
saying.
can
Hold on,
be
hold on, hold on,
declared
hold on,
pop
He's
hold on,
right.
hold on.
But
Yeah.
some
This
music is created with the intention of it being
Yo,
top
let Mike
40
speak.
Right.
music,
Right.
which is
No, this is
a
what
little
I'm saying
more
is.
genre derivative.
But what I'm saying-
Pop
towards the
music
original.
Hip-hop
is the stuff that you
is
would
not
hear like
a
Kylie
sound.
Minogue playing.
Is that if I'm
like
picking a
we
jazz
know what
record,
pop music. If I gotta be
and
blunt,
I rap over it.
hold on. You want me to be blunt?
No, let Mike
Kylie
get his
Minogue's
point
like,
off. Let him get his
Hold
point
on.
off.
If I'm gonna be blunt,
Let Mike
you
get
can
his
rap.
you
point
can rap
off.
on
I've
anything.
never got my point off yet.
Go ahead,
Ever.
go ahead.
I haven't been able to finish.
Go ahead,
I haven't
go
been
ahead,
able
go
to
ahead,
finish
go
my
ahead, go
hip-hop. What I'm trying to say is that every category now has been watered down in some way, shape, or form. Country is not what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Rock is not what it used to be. Nothing is what it used to be. Dancehall is definitely not what the hell it used to be.
My lungs ain't what they used to be.
Right. So therefore, we can't say that these subdivisions that are
But
created
is it not
now
what it is?
don't exist. Why though?
Is it not what it is?
Once upon a time, everybody on this planet was dark skinned. Now, what are we gonna say? White people aren't real people because they weren't
I didn't
the
say
original
that.
No, we're
inhabitants?
No, you're not.
But
You
that's
see,
what-
you're missing.
No,
your
no,
point.
no, no,
You're
no,
missing
but
my
that's
point
what
I'm
I'm
making.
saying, though. No, no,
That's
no,
not
no,
the
no,
point
no,
I'm
you're
making.
saying
We have a
something
pigment
brand is
deficiency.
ignored.
We're
Right.
mutants.
But so does hip hop. So
No,
what I'm
no, no,
saying
no,
is
you're missing
because
it. You're missing
it's
the point.
branched into something
Majority-
new,
let
you're
me
trying to
explain.
say that
No,
it
no,
doesn't
no,
exist
no,
because it
that's
wasn't
what I'm
what it
saying. No.
originally
I'm
was.
not saying
Dustin
that.
laughing
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this one more time. I'm gonna say it one more time.
Yeah.
Like I said, the majority of things that we say is hip hop or was hip hop is based on stuff that was not hip hop in the first place. So if I sample a soul record, a jazz record, a rock
James
record,
Brown's the most
hold
sampled
on,
artist.
exactly. He did
I'm
not
the
make
king
hip-hop
of
music.
rock.
But
There
that's
is
where
none
hip
higher.
hop. But that's what
Hold
hip hop
on.
came
Just
from. Is what
Run
you're failing to
DMC.
realize.
It came from all types of sources.
Run
Right, so that's
DMC.
what
Meaning that.
makes hip
But
hop.
it's not in
Craft
music.
Yes,
Craft
it
word.
is. That's like
It's
saying a
not in
biracial
music.
person is not a person
No,
because they came
'cause
from
if I
being
take
black
that-
and white and now they're
no,
mixed.
because if I play a jazz record, say I
Right.
play a jazz record, I'm
Yeah.
playing the break of a jazz record, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean it's hip hop because I'm playing the jazz record?
No, but if
I
you
don't get what
play
you just
Bob
said.
James, Natalis or whatever it's called, the
Yeah.
beginning, doom, 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 doom,
Yeah.
and you loop that, now it's hip hop.
Why is it hip hop? Because I looped it?
No.
Right.
It's jazz.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
What Mike is
Even if you take off the
It's like
rapping
Q-Tip
aspect,
said.
it's just music.
Q-Tip,
It's
what?
just
What's in the
music.
one song?
But that's what hip hop
When I
is.
listen to hip hop, my
That's
dad
That's
said
what
it
people
reminded
don't-
him of
hip-hop is-
bebop.
Hip hop is only once you start rapping on it. That's where it comes.
That,
if-
no, hip hop
if you-
existed before a rapper even rapped on it.
No, it didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
Yes.
No,
It did.
No,
Yes.
no,
You can look it up.
No, No,
You can look it up.
no.
Yeah, the
no,
park
no.
jams.
What?
The park jams.
What is that?
The park jams.
Do you mean outside just beatboxing and?
Well,
whatever,
first off, the
sitting on your
rec
laptop?
room. The rec room is where hip hop technically started.
Yeah.
DJ Cool Herc
And
in the
then nobody
Bronx
was
at
rapping.
What do you
1520
mean by
Sedgwick
hip
Ave.
hop technically started? What do you mean by
Well,
that?
but technically hip hop, what I mean is that DJ Kool Herc technically brought like clashes over from Jamaica because he was Jamaican, and that whole ideology of playing music to begin with.
What was he playing?
Did it
when
in the
he
Bronx,
was in America?
and well, he was playing funk and soul. He wasn't playing reggae.
Right,
He was playing
so
funk and soul, the
hip-hop is
stuff
a
that the people in the
combination.
neighborhood related to, and picking out specific parts of songs,
Right.
And
to
it didn't
really
matter the
emphasize
genre,
on.
Right.
as long as people were feeling it.
But there
Yeah,
was no
but
rapper then. They
everything-
had a dude. I can't remember his name, but
Yeah,
it
I
was
forgot his
it was
name
his
too.
like
So,
cousin
right,
or
so
his
where's
boy,
hip-hop
and he would
meet?
go like, "Hey,
The
yo,
hype man.
so and so's got some weed if you
was the hype
need."
man, the
And
hype
this guy,
man.
Right,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is,
But that was
right
the rapper.
now, like if a reggae artist were to jump on a hip hop track, like if Cartel were to jump on a hip hop track, until you rap
So,
on it,
hold on.
it is not a hip hop track.
Hold on.
It'll be a hip hop and dance hall
Hold on,
track,
hold
but
on.
until you actually, unless we're just talking straight instrumentals, but we're talking about lyricist wise. If I go and sing on a song on a hip hop track right now, it is no longer hip hop.
Why is it
That-
no
hold
longer
on,
hip
I'm
hop?
gonna answer your question. 'cause
But
I'm-
what is a hip
once
hop
I
track?
finish my
If a hip hop
sentence,
track
you-
doesn't exist, what is a
I
hip
can't
hop
answer your
track?
question until I finish
But
my
what is
sentence.
a hip hop track?
Let me
They're
finish
trying to
my
show you.
sentence. Let me
Hip-hop
finish.
tracks
Why
don't
you asking a
exist.
question and not listening for an
Hip-hop
answer?
tracks don't exist.
Yes, they do. What I'm saying is that's the reason why Mary is the queen of hip hop soul,
Because
not hip hop.
okay.
Hip hop.
But you notice how it's
Okay.
not called rap
Hip-hop
soul.
soul.
But
Because-
what makes her part hip hop?
because it's a hip hop.
There's no
such thing as
production.
hip-hop beats.
It's a hip hop.
That's
Then
what
why
I'm
does
saying.
hip hop
They don't exist.
Then why do we have it then? Why if it doesn't
doesn't
exist?
exist.
Why do we have the word?
Where does the music
Technically,
come
then-
from? Where does it?
Everything.
Yo,
it comes
hold
from a
on.
little bit of
If you go to-
reggae.
if you
It
go-
comes from a little bit of
Technically,
hip-hop,
the
it
new
comes from a
kids
little
on the
bit of
block are
soul.
hip hop then,
That's hip-hop.
because they sampled.
Hip hop is
Hey,
not a genre of music.
So how can that be
technically,
a genre of
the new
music?
kids on the
Because-
block are hip hop. Technically, NSYNC
they're
are
pop.
hip hop.
They're pop.
No, because
That's
they
pop.
have instrumentals.
if I
produced in a
sample their
hip-hop
music,
fashion,
if I sample their
and there's
music,
samples in them.
If I sample kids' music right now, am I not making
They have
hip-hop now?
samples, though.
Why is it not hip-hop? 'Cause I
That's what I'm
sampled their
saying.
shit.
It's the
But
same
that's because
ideology.
A lot of shit was sampled from people
Sample
like
it.
them.
Yes, but if you sample it and you combine it with something outside of the element, then it's no longer the same thing. It's like what's his face?
The right
Little X.
stuff.
He sampled country, so now it's country and rap. Is that a country song? No. Is that a rap song or a hip hop song? No.
So what is it?
It's
combination.
a Wrangler
Is
on
it
my
both?
booty
What-
song.
is it both though?
It's
Is
a
it both though?
It is both. It
Is
is
it
both.
both?
It is both.
Is
Why
it
can't it be
both?
both?
Is it
Why
both?
does every
Nobody
what
tell
in life
me
is black and white?
There's no such thing as a hip hop beat. That's all I'm trying to
Of
say.
course there is. Why isn't there such thing as hip hop?
Take my
Cause
horse
why?
to
Where they got the music
Yotown
from?
Road.
What?
I'm
They got the
gonna
music from sources that were not
ride till
hip
I
hop.
can't
So,
no
but what was
more.
hip hop? You
Take
can't
my
create something until you make it.
Exactly.
So then
Exactly.
therefore
Right.
reggae. Okay,
If you
so
go
the-
to the
hold
history
on,
of
hold on,
hip-hop, you'll
hold on,
know
wait.
exactly what
So
I'm
hold on.
saying.
So therefore reggae, hold on, reggae is not a genre because until somebody created it, it didn't exist. Dancehall is not a genre.
No, no, no.
genre
You-
because
you're-
until somebody
you're missing
created
the point.
it. No, no,
You're
no.
missing the point, no.
Until somebody
You're missing
Rap's
created
the genre.
Once you realize that
No, but what I'm saying
hip hop
is,
does not have a sound,
but neither does dancehall.
what do you mean doesn't have a sound?
Neither does dancehall.
How-
Neither
how
does
does it have a
R&B.
sound?
What is
How
what
does
is
it have
what
a
is
sound?
rhythm and blues?
What is it?
What is rhythm
What
and
is
blues?
it? What is it?
I'm asking you.
Therefore, I don't know what it
Mr. DJ.
is. You're the one who sings it.
I-
So if you say it
No, you
doesn't
know what?
exist because of what I'm saying,
It's a long
you should
span.
know more than me.
No, but
You
I'm
should
going
know more
based
than
off of
me.
your theory because everything.
Okay. Where did
everything
rhythm
right
and
now-
blues get its music from?
Rhythm and blues got its music just like any other
Where
category.
did it get its
Harmony,
music from?
Jazz, soul,
Okay.
blues,
Okay.
everything else. The same thing with hip hop. Hip hop, there's nothing.
Yo,
But
make some
hip-hop
noise
is
for
not a
Muddy
genre,
Waters.
it's a
Yes,
culture.
it is. It is a culture, but it can
Rap
be a genre as
music,
well.
it could be
Okay, but
considered a
dancehall,
thing.
dancehall is a culture as well too, but it's also a genre
Of course,
music.
but hip hop's not the same
Why
because
not?
dancehall's like that.
Why?
Dancehall's dance.
Pop is a
the way
culture
it
as
is.
well too, but it's also a genre
Pop
of
is
music.
Pop is not a
Country
genre
is
of
also-
music.
People can live
Pop
in
is not a
country
genre of
lifestyle.
music.
There's country
If-
lifestyle.
if-
There's being country is also a way of living, but then there's a genre of music.
Okay, but that's what they
right?
call that genre of music. Hip hop
But
is
so
not
why
a
is
genre
hip-hop
of
the
music.
only genre
I'm
that
saying
can't
it's
be
not
both?
a genre of music.
Why is it the only word
If
that
you
can't have double
go back to
meaning?
the history of hip hop, you'll
I
you'll
have
fully
studied
understand.
everything. If you go back to the history of hip hop, you got to go back to the drumming plains of Africa.
Of course.
Right.
Is that hip
So
hop?
therefore, it doesn't matter if it's hip hop.
It's not hip hop.
Therefore, based on your theory,
It does matter.
Hold on.
If it doesn't matter,
it doesn't.
it does.
Based on your theory, the only music that exists is the ones that we played on the drumming plains of Africa because everything
I never
else
said
is
the
a
only ones that
combination
exist.
of
You know what?
everything
Here,
afterwards.
hold up.
Everything is
Wait,
a
no, hold up.
Even classical music
No, hold
is a
up. 'Cause
combination.
I have
Everything
an
is a
argument. I have an
combination.
argument because,
Nothing exists.
well, no. Things do exist because you believe them to exist.
Right.
Everything is only what your your realm of
Exactly.
imagination and what you've been taught allows you to believe something is inside of a closed box.
Yeah.
That's it. But if we're gonna go to these enclosed boxes and talk about what things are and stuff, firstly, I say hip hop is a culture, it's a lifestyle, it's not a style of music. Because what considers something to be hip hop or not is rap. And rap is
Rap
also
doesn't
a
determine
genre
that,
of
though.
music,
Rap doesn't
and it's the
determine
same
that,
thing.
though.
Now, some rap music may be declared as real
wouldn't
hip hop
even- I don't even
because it
think rap
embodies
is a genre
hip
of
hop.
What is real
culture.
hip-hop?
Rap is not.
Well,
what
that's
is
what- I don't
real
think
hip-hop?
rap
The five
is a genre of
elements and
music,
everything
though.
that
Rap
follows
is
that.
what you are doing.
But
Because-
hold on.
It's
hold
just
on.
like singing.
Hold
you
on,
can
though.
sing on
The
reggae,
reason I say
soul,
this,
R&B.
though-
Rapping is the lyrical.
The reason I
aspect of
say
what you're
this,
doing. It's
though,
not the type of music.
is because
'Cause you
Bob
can rap over a
Dylan
rock track.
technically,
That's what I'm saying.
Bob
rap over
Dylan
That's what I'm talking about.
technically
That's what
had
I'm
the
talking
first
about more.
But that's my
mainstream rap
point.
That's
song
what
of
I'm
all
talking
time.
Has a
more.
sound. When I listen to Mary J. Blige, the sex
Yep.
is good. You have my mind. As soon as I hear that, that is
Listen to
straight
the
hip
last
hop.
part.
That ain't
Why?
reggae.
What makes that
That
straight
ain't
hip hop
reggae.
though?
It's-
What makes that
what
straight
makes
hip
it
Jimmy's
hop?
in the kitchen
What
cooking
makes
up the
no, just
medicine.
answer
I'm
question.
in the
When I hear,
basement.
I don't
Think
know how
about
to
the
break it down.
government.
It's just like when I hear
Like, this is
dancehall
what- the only
music. It's
reason
just
why-
like when I
and
hear
this-
dancehall
rap.
That's the reason why I'm saying
It's
what
rap.
I'm saying, right?
It's where it
Because
comes from. It's the people that
What's
created
but the
it.
various
Muhammad Ali
sounds
rap.
of hip hop
Yeah.
are so different,
Pig meat Markham
right?
rap.
But it's
Where
not-
it's like
it's not-
you
it's
can't
before-
pinpoint and be like
before
yeah,
rap.
that's more hip hop than that.
I said that.
But you
earlier.
can though.
No, you can't
I
really.
can listen to a hip
I
hop
can
song.
do. I can.
But then you can say the same thing about dancehall.
Yes and no.
All right, we
You
got
can
like
say the
two-
same
No.
thing about
Yes and
every
no.
every
All right,
genre.
all right.
Yes and no.
Hold on.
We got
Yeah.
2 minutes left.
Yo, chill,
Buddy,
What the fuck? God damn, homie.
Well,
All right, we got 2 minutes
This is
left.
what it
so
called.
let's give the floor, you know, saying to our guest. Let's let her plug her stuff. Let's let her, you know, give us her social medias, everything where people can get in touch. And,
Sure.
Yo, this is gonna be a big argument on Facebook.
Right? You can find me at Alicia Cinnamon or www.aliciacinnamon.com. Anyway.
I apologize.
Sorry, yo, I didn't know what
We're saying
happened.
like bad time.
Apple cider
Look
for
at
you
this
guys.
one right up here.
Yeah, so www.aliciacinnamon.com, Alicia Cinnamon on social media platforms. I have a lot of shows coming up in June. The Durham Carib Fest, June 15th. The Durham Caribbean Week, the Durham Caribbean Festival is the week of, June 27th to July 3rd. So you guys can catch me at that. What else? Every Thursday, Rhythm. Oh, no, my phone. Every Thursday, Rhythm and Soul Thursdays, 4170
Sorry,
Kingston Road. out
What's
in
the
Scarborough.
intersections? Kingston and
Overture. So
All
by
right.
the Guildwood community. It's a nice little area. Close to Twice as Nice if you guys are familiar with that restaurant. They're a Caribbean restaurant.
oh, Kingston Overture,
Yeah.
right by Adams Drive, I think. There's like a car lot there.
Yeah.
Yo, my
Celeste.
mom used to live
There you
on that
go.
fucking street. Had
There
the
you
biggest
go.
backyard I ever seen in my fucking life. But I'm sorry.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I lived in Malvern. She lived in Ops territory, and I had to visit her every other weekend. I
Oh, okay.
apologize, but proceed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then I have the R&B Divas Live at Spade Lounge. That's myself, Veronica Times. Call it Easy. Mo Spence,
Okay.
live band.
Yeah. Shout out Mo
that's
Spence.
Spade. Yeah, that's Spade June 22nd.
She's
We're pulling
dope.
up in our limo and, getting our whole Beyonce
Yeah.
swag on and all that. So that's going to be dope. Live band.
Shout out
Something
Mo. We
different.
got to get you on here. You dope.
Absolutely.
I think she went to Trebas with us.
Don't kill me.
Maybe with you.
No, she was the same time you were there. She was a semester behind me,
Oh,
and you were a
that's why.
semester ahead of me.
That's why I didn't.
But she was at Trebas with us, and I remember her from
How did
that
Trevor's
time.
work
so-
out for you guys? You liked it?
But we're doing this, so
Yeah, okay.
fuck. I'm
That's-
something. I'm not where
I've
I
heard
want to
like
be,
a little
but
bit of both. So like, should I
at the
go?
end of
Should
the
I
day,
not?
It depends.
end of the day, it all depends on you, the individual, as opposed to the
And
institute.
I think if
you know
you
what
can
I'm
learn as
saying?
much as you can on your own, you don't need them.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays with the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to a
True,
certain
true.
degree, absolutely.
True.
It depends what you want to take out of it.
True.
But yeah, what else is popping though? Where can we get you on IG, Facebook?
Alicia Cinnamon, all one word, pretty much everything. Just punch me in ALICIA CINNAMON, and I pop up pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, so man, this was another dope episode of Turono Talks. I don't even know what to say. Like Maloney does this weird shit at the end of the fucking episode. He goes dessert. It's like you gotta run to the washroom, so he just tries to fuck shit up and get out of here. So he fuck shit up. Like, the camera angles are all off. They're all fucked up.
Right?
and-
We got liquor everywhere.
yeah, fuck. It's
My
fucking
phone's still
weird. So
working.
we're gonna get out of here. It's another episode. Maloney, Stoan, Dustin. That's the Thank you for coming
No
through.
problem. Thanks for
We had a
having me.
fucking blast. And
Absolutely.
yeah, we'll be back soon. And yo, the Raptors are gonna win. Fuck this motherfucker.
Straight.
Warriors.
What is the score?
Nah,
Where
nah.
are we at right
Fuck
now?
this guy.
Right?
Ra. What time
Sell
is
out.
it? I'm gonna
Watch
check
the
it right
hat.
now.
Watch the
Man,
hat.
I
Watch
didn't
the hat.
Warriors.
Watch the
All right, hold
hat.
on. What's the score? What's the
I'm
score?
gonna check
What's
this
the
right
score?
now.
What's
Yeah?
the score?
Anybody know the score of my live
What's the
right now?
score?
Please let me
What's the
know.
score?
Hold on.
Tell me what the score is.
Yeah, let us know right now.
I'm not getting off to no score.
Hold on. Warriors versus
This
Raptors.
fucking guy. Toronto Talks, right? We're in the finals. The
Right.
show's called
That's all that
Toronto
matters.
And this is what we talking
Man's
about.
Wearing a fucking
Okay.
Warriors outfit.
It's 15-7 Raptors. It's the first
Aye,
quarter.
aye, go
It's only, don't worry.
Raptors,
This
yeah.
means nothing. This means nothing.
Okay. Oh, we did. Okay.
All right, man. We out of here.
Don't worry, Warriors.
Maloney's MIA. That's his fucking empty chair.
Drake, mind yourself when you're in Oakland. They've warned you.
I know they said they're not even playing
One
Drake's
love.
music.
Yeah.
No more free advertisement for growers. Yeah, one love.
Right.